Hello, my loves. Are you guys ready to find out what to expect coming up next? What does 2023 have in store for you? What are the next lessons, the next tasks, the next journey? Stay tuned to find out. Are you guys Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I'm Monica, the Kismet Chemist. Whether you are new or returning, welcome back. Guys, it's an honor to have you. I've missed you. Let's get directly in. This is a super special collab. So Zara and I have been talking about doing this collab for a good, few months now. It feels like, and we definitely had some collabs scheduled for the end of December, and then we were gonna do like a New Year's Eve, New Year's Day collaboration. And after everything rolled out with the Christmas season, with the prior collab, the 3-channel collab that I was gonna do, my heart hurt so much from that situation. I told her, I said, I am not ready to do a collaboration. And bless everything about this woman. She is so incredible. She's such an amazing friend. And she said, I totally understand. Let's look at when a better time to do that is. And, I suggested, another time frame. So that collaboration, that 2-day collaboration, we're still going to do it. We're just going to do it in a different way at a different time. Because it just wasn't, the stars weren't aligned for that one, we'll say. But this particular collaboration, in a way, kind of still plays into one of the ones that we had been playing around with in coming into a new calendar year. So she knows that I don't celebrate the new year anymore. I did. I used to celebrate the new year. I used to get really excited. I'd be like, I'm going to make all these resolutions, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and new year, new me, until I realized that I was literally setting myself up for failure when I was doing that. And the more that I went about my life, the more I realized, how do I want to go about these things? How do I want to view these things? And it's 2:22 on the clock, guys. So this is really about decision making and making the right decision for ourselves. So I started living energetically. I live based off of the zodiac. I live based off the sun, based off the moon. And it has really radically revolutionized the way in which I flow with my life and the world. That's why I've had such a huge slowdown, because when it was autumn, it was harvest season. And I know, growing up in a farming community in harvest season, you go and go and go and go and go until the work is done. And when the winter comes, then you slow down. You take more time for family. You take more time for reflection. You take time for planning. You take time for reconnecting with the self and with spirit. And so that's what I've really been doing this winter season that I am in, because I'm in the northern hemisphere. And this reading just fell so perfectly. So we're looking at what your next task is. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to have you guys choose these piles. And it's going to be about what theme you're in and what is the theme to come. So that is my portion of it. Zara is going to be looking at rediscovering your magic. She and I are both huge Harry Potter nerds. I don't want to say fans, I want to say nerds, because when you are a Harry Potter nerd, you totally dork out way more, and I love it. I could sit and talk about the books and the intricacies and the ways that every time I think about J.K. Rowling and how she wrote the book, I imagine her in an entire room with Post-it notes all over the walls and strings connecting them to one to the next. Seriously, like an FBI profiler. That's how I picture how J.K. Rowling had to have written the books. Like, it's completely irrational because there's got to be better organizational systems than Post-it notes and string. But that's where my brain goes to. But see, I love all things Harry Potter. I have a Harry Potter shelf in my office. Excuse me, guys, but I've been reading these books since I was 12 years old. They have been such a key feature in my life, in my growth, in my development. In college, I wrote a philosophical paper about the archetypal representation of good versus evil within the realm of Harry Potter books. So I literally have taken Harry Potter and like it's been with me my entire life, so it has such a crucial role in my life. I wanted to take just a small piece of this, and her and I would sit and nerd out. So she's going to be looking at, rediscovering or discovering your treasure. In terms of going down into the Black Lake that's outside of Hogwarts and talking to the Merpeople, and you have Grindylows and the merfolk and the giant squid and the whole entire realm underneath the water. And I am so excited for her reading. She texted me this morning when I woke up and she's like, I have so much filming like material to edit. And I was like, oh my God, this is like the nerdiest, most profound reading ever. So I am super excited. If you guys cannot tell, I am so excited for this. You guys, if I could structure all my readings based off of Harry Potter, like permanently, I would be like the biggest nerd ever, and this is how my readings would go. I just get super excited and just talk about the characters all the time. But be that as it may. Sorry guys, I had like a cup of coffee, I took a shower, I took a salt bath, I really got grounded, and I just feel, first of all, fairy energy, which has been very strong. Not surprised at all because Czar has been like, you need to get in touch with fairies. They keep bugging me to get you to talk to them, and I love it. I love it, especially with this coming off of my collaboration with Celtic Fairy Tarot, who literally was talking about your inner fae, and she's just incredible. So we're going to be looking at this energy, but yeah, today has just been a really great morning so far. So I'm hoping that this continues so that we can really get pumped up and move forward. This may have something to do with the fact that I've been watching Coffee with My Ex, like old episodes of Coffee with My Ex. If you guys have not seen that podcast and YouTube channel, it's phenomenal. My guides have been like guiding me into doing more fitness, taking care of my body better, finding new ways to really love my body, and dancing has been a really big theme with all of my readings, but also with my guides and in my energy. Like, they're like, let's turn this into something where, you treat your body better. And I'm totally here for it. So they brought the fitness marshal into my life, and it just kind of expanded outward from there. It was like, I found myself in a YouTube rabbit hole. And I could have been like, what is this and why is this showing up? And instead I was like, this is really funny. This is really awesome. Let's take a look. So I've been watching a lot of Coffee with My Ex, and they're pretty phenomenal, I'm not going to lie. But they give you this like pep, this boost of like, oh, you can be super famous on YouTube and super normal in life. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know. My tangents are going to be great today. We're going to take a look at what your next task is. This is going to be whatever it is that that you have just recently faced. We're going to look at how it has structured your belief systems and how that is going to change you moving forward. Without further ado, we have 4 piles here. Each one is based off of a Harry Potter magical meditation card. Each one has a different title. And I want you guys to actually trust your instincts and what your life situation has been lately in choosing the pile. So we have experiencing loss for pile 1, relationships for pile 2, battling our fears for pile 3, and flights of fancy for pile 4. And if you're wondering about flights of fancy, it does have a golden snitch on it. I don't have the book for magical meditations near me, but I want you to look at this as like passion projects, things that you love, are interested in. You know, flights of fancy, we think of like, you know, your mental flights of fancy. So I want you guys to spend some time. I will put on a little bit of meditation music for you guys so you can get in touch with the energies, with cards, and really allow for yourselves to trust in what you have recently experienced. Oh, for heaven's sakes. To see where we want to go from here. I'm going to get me some coffee and let you guys do some meditation. So we'll be back in just a moment. Hello, pile 1. So we're going to go ahead and clear the energy here. Clear this space. I wanted to jump directly in. So you guys chose the experiencing loss card. And before we get too far into the message, I did want to remind you guys, this is a collaboration. Huge shout out to Czar with Lunar Fresh Tarot. And, you know, doing this collaboration with me, we're looking at, you know, come at some of that inner levels of energy and using Harry Potter as our platform or our, you know, our launching pad, so to speak. But we're looking here at your next task. So we're looking at the Triwizard Tournament. And if any of you guys have ever read the 4th book or seen the 4th movie, it's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. One of the things about that is, and this is the reason why is because your energy matches this particular part of the story. Harry was thrown into the Triwizard Tournament outside of his own personal willingness. He didn't want to be a part of it. He didn't want to be entered into it. And as these things go, because, you know, it's a book, it's a storyline, he was entered in, and it caused a lot of problems, but he also had to go and do things that were high-level magic that he was not accustomed to doing. And sometimes we feel like, you know, the universe throws us into a situation in which we have to do something that we're just not, we feel like we're not necessarily ready for, accustomed for, or it's like, okay, I can level up, but do I want to level up in this way? And I kind of feel like this pile in particular, not kind of, I very much feel like this pile in particular, your energy is a lot like Harry finding out that he was entered into the Goblet of Fire. It's this kind of shocking feeling of like, what? Why? Why is this my level up? Why is this my current theme? Why is this my situation? And we get to those points. Like, I think it would be naive for any single person to be like, I've never thought about that question, that why question. I've never contemplated it. I think personally, that would be absolutely audacious to say. That's like somebody running around speaking egotistical truths that are literally from the ego, but not a healthy ego, that it's imbalanced. You can't speak in, it's just, I'm going to end up getting on a soapbox. My point here is you're not alone. You're not alone in feeling that way. You're not alone in wondering, why the hell is it that I have to move forward from this? Why is this my lesson? Why is this my journey? Why is this my theme? And, I just heard, hold on to that. Hold on to, like, your guides are saying, hold on to that. Hold on to that wondering, because it will shift. It will shift from what it is right now into what it needs to be. Interesting. So let's take a look. Experiencing loss is what you chose. And we've got values and beliefs here. This experiencing loss is your current energy right now. The lesson that you just went through, the theme that you are still in and moving through. And it says, in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry loses his godfather Sirius when Bellatrix Lestrange kills him during a duel in the Department of Mysteries. Devastated with grief and rage, Harry chases after Bellatrix and uses the Cruciatus Curse, an unforgivable curse, to bring her down. It doesn't work because Harry doesn't really mean it. He is just reacting to his pain. Have you ever lashed out after suffering a terrible blow? What were the consequences? Did it make you feel better or worse? Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys a story because I'm being brought to a story. And it may seem kind of minuscule because nobody died. Nobody died in my situation on this one. I could tell a story about somebody dying, but I don't really want to go down that road. So let's look at it this way. I had talked in my intro about I was supposed to do a 3-channel collaboration in December. And I haven't talked about it a lot on this channel beyond my short announcement. But here's the situation. The person that was running that had approached me, we could say running, but the person who had approached me for the collaboration did not operate on the same frequency, the same energy level as me. And I knew it. And my guides had been advising me to break away, to cut ties. But I could see the excitement of doing certain collaborations. It had reached, our connection had reached its best by date, and I should have walked away. Instead, what I did was make my best attempt at making it work. My best attempt at making it work was not how this other person operated. And one thing led to another, and I got pulled into, side email threads about this, that, and the other thing, and accused of, I honestly, I don't even know how it panned out as far as accusations goes. But the point is that separate from 2 different collaborations I was a part of, I was removed from them. It wasn't something that everybody else was brought in on. It was something that was done very directed, very pointedly at me personally. And it was because I triggered this other person because I asked for what the vision of a collaboration was, and they did not want to give me a vision. They didn't want to give me an intention, a purpose behind it. And so I got 18 different explanations. And as I opted to choose one of the explanations, I filmed, I got my stuff done. And then I got another one with a completely different view. And I didn't have an opinion on that last one because I had already filmed my part. I was attacked. And essentially it was an attempt at ostracizing me from the tarot community in and of itself. And I'm talking about this with you guys not to bad talk this person because they're on their own journey doing their own thing, whatever. It's because in that moment, I was trauma triggered. What should I do? Because I knew in that moment it was someone trying to take my power away. And instead of spiraling, I asked my guides, what can I do? What should I do? So what I was shown was that I needed to verbalize with a group of other creators that I was working with what had happened, provide them with the actual messages so that I'm not putting words in anybody else's mouth. I'm just putting the words that were said out there. And what ended up transpiring was the other person actually lashed out at me and called me a bully, called me a slanderer. And I was not moving from that space. I was moving from a space of making sure that the narrative did not get controlled by someone who had a personal vendetta against me. Now, this was someone that I considered a friend. So I got hurt. I got deeply wounded, and I received many, many emails from subscribers talking directly about that short announcement and about how deep the wounding was apparent. I didn't think it was. I genuinely did not think that you guys could see that. But it was in that moment, it was let me do what is right for my channel while also honoring myself and not bad talking anyone. I'm not trying to diminish anyone. It was a deeply painful experience for me. And it was also an experience that I needed. It wasn't painful because I cared about this person in excess. I had not allowed myself to let this person into my head or my heart. And it was because of those things that I was able to see the narcissistic manipulation coming at me. But it was simply because this was a pattern that had continued in my life that I was ready to move out of. It was a theme. And this is the theme that you guys are moving out of. Your guides are trying to allow you to understand you're moving out of it. Why? Because you've stopped being reactive. When we lose, when we feel that pain, now we can go as expansive as you want on loss. When you feel that extreme pain of loss, there is also a high level of fear that is attached to it. We feel fear. Our entire lives feel threatened. Our livelihoods feel threatened. Our sense of safety feels threatened. Loss goes all the way down to the root of who we are. It goes all the way down to our sense of stability and security within ourselves and within our entire world. And that's a really hard thing. It's a really hard thing when we have to experience that because it's about how we respond. Now, the other thing about that is this talks about how Harry Potter responded by trying to use the Cruciatus Curse. And the Cruciatus Curse is the curse of torture. It was an expression in that moment of the amount of pain he's in that he knew he felt a pain as deep as torture. And that's something that we don't talk about enough when it comes to loss is the pain of loss feels like a constant permanent torture, not just on our minds, but our energies, our hearts, our souls, our sense of what reality is in this life. And it challenges us to learn how to operate in a different way, learn how to detach in a way without sacrificing who we are on a soul level, without sacrificing who we are empathetically and sympathetically, and from a place of clear-cut love. That's the lesson you've been working through. And it's not an easy lesson, pile one. it's not easy to be attacked and watch something transpire, that you lose something that you care about, whether it's a person or a job or a home or, you know, a creative project. It's whatever it was. It's not easy to just watch it crumble because of someone else's actions and not respond. And know that you have to be the bigger person and know that you have to operate in that way. That's not easy. Over time, we learn, how can I utilize this to help others? How can I take this and transform it into something higher, something better, something that shows the world that they are capable of more, that shows other people? It's taking something that has pained you and pouring it into the world. That's Aquarian energy very strongly. It's understanding that we can feel that depth of torture within ourselves. And let's not lie at all. It's torturous to feel this pain. We can feel that. But do we have to respond? Do we need to be reactive? No, we can choose a better way forward. We can choose a way forward that doesn't harm others, but also is honest and truthful. Yes, yeah, there are moments where people react and attack, but do we need to be those people? Your guides want you to understand that asking why leads you to understanding that you are above that behavior. And as you're above that behavior, now it's why turns into what. You turn why into why did this happen? Why did it transpire this way? Why does it have to be like this? Why me? Why this? Why that? And you transform it into, what can I do with this? What can I do moving forward? So let's find out how this challenged your values and beliefs. It says, oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. I'm totally gonna cry. The Weasleys are a big, warm, welcoming, mildly chaotic, but always loving and supportive family. They are a striking contrast to the aggressively normal Dursley family. While the Dursleys value money, convention, and status, the Weasleys value courage, kindness, and loyalty. These values are present in every scene featuring the Weasleys, whether they're supporting one another through various trials and adventures or welcoming Harry with open arms. Think about your own family values. How have they shaped you into the person you've become? Okay. We're going to go back to that same analogy, that the same storyline. So you guys, with this person, it was really hard. It was really hard for me. But this card actually sums it up perfectly. It was about values. This person was about status, about money, about perceptions in the outside world. And I was here to help you. The what is exactly this. The what is, how do you shape this into something more? How have these moments shaped you? Oh, pile one. I understand. Like, it's so hard to be like, yeah, they may have shaped me, but, and I get it. I get that, but ... let me add this and this and this and this. And I feel like you guys are moving out of that, where it's like, okay, they have shaped me in this way. They have shaped me in this form. They have shaped me like this. And no longer are you aiming at justifying being in a state of pain. So let's see your current or your energy transformation. This is the theme of the next task moving forward. Oh, we have the Four of Cups with comfort and the moon in Cancer. Oh my God. Okay. So I'm filming this shortly after the Cancer full moon, and that full moon was anything but comfortable. And I've never seen a Four of Cups card as the comfort card. But here's the thing. Okay, the Four of Cups, I always say, is my saddest It's the saddest card in the deck. Why? Because people look at it like it's just an outright refusal, but to me, I can feel that energy of, I have worked so hard for these 3 cups, and now the universe wants to come in and offer me another cup. These 3 cups that I've fought for, that I've worked for, I've broken myself down for, now the universe wants to offer me another cup. Yeah, it does, but you don't want to reach out for that cup. Why? Because the last 3 cups you reached out for, look where it got you. It got you sitting right here under this tree, looking at these 3 cups like they were the worst experience that ever happened to you. But this is about learning how those worst experiences are actually what have shaped you into who you are. They've shaped you into a person who has courage and kindness and loyalty, who does the right thing, who understands that it's not about learning how to be reactive and to lash out and to, meet someone at their level, but to elevate the bar and make them meet you at your level. And if they don't, then you say, okay, I believe in you to do so in the future. But as of right now, this means to me that we are not meant to interact at all. And then you do that and you move forward, and you can actually feel comfort surrounding that. It's how you find your level of comfort in the midst of a moment of grief, or a situation of grief, or a lifetime of grief. The universe is offering you a new cup. This theme that they're offering you is to get you out of staring at those 3 cups that have been lost. Yes, they've been lost. Yes, they hurt. Yes, it's been a painful journey, but the moon in Cancer is a sovereign, emotional, and soul energy. It makes you sovereign. It gives you this opportunity to elevate above the ways that other people work through manipulation and pain and anguish and fear-based tactics, and elevate above that and find comfort within yourself, within your heart, within your soul, and within the universe and within spirit. It's coming back to spirit and coming back to yourself and understanding that who you are is worthy in this world, and finding comfort in knowing that no matter how many times you go through losses, the universe is always going to be right there to offer you a new cup, to offer you a new joy, a new experience, a new happiness, a new inspiration. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get back on that horse. Like for me, my first collaboration, I had resistant energy, and then I was working through resistant energies, and I was so freaking terrified to get back into collaborations after that. I was so scared. I had this innate fear within me that this person created in a singular situation. They created fear in a singular situation, and I took that and I responded by allowing that fear to permeate. That's the one way that person was able to get in, was that fear. And you know what? I did collaborations with people that I care about and I trust, that are loyal, that are courage, that are kind, that are courageous, that are kind, that are generous, that are understanding, that they knew the whole of the situation, and they knew exactly how hard this was for me. And they held my hand like a mother does for a child. And the universe is offering you a hand like the mother offers their child. The universe is offering this to you to help you come back into a state of comfort within the universe, even if everything in your life feels uncomfortable. So let's see what these are your outer challenges. This is your inner challenges. This is unseen help. And this is how you can step confidently into the unknown. Then we'll pull just a couple extra oracle cards if there's time. So yeah, the outer challenges, we have the Ace of Wands, and we have Godric Gryffindor. So the outer challenges is really like meeting the world with a new inspirational confidence, meeting the world, embodying the fullness of your own perspectives, your own values, your own belief systems, meeting the world in that way and allowing yourself to be the lion, to be, you know what? This is not something I would normally say, to be prideful about where you have been and where you have come from and how far you have come. And it doesn't feel like an imbalanced pride. It feels like, be proud of yourself here. It's time to be proud of yourself, to really own everything that you've gone through and let that be an inspirational spark. But it's going to feel challenging by the outer world because you have to trust the outer world to accept you. When we feel like we can't be accepted because of some situation, we have to come forth in a sense of strength, and we have to meet the outer world in a sense of strength. So this is going to challenge you because you may still feel weak internally, and that's okay. That's understandable. So let's see what we have next. This is your inner world challenges. We have the Prince of Discs. Yeah. Okay. So now we've got Neville in and the greenhouse. Now, when you're growing anything, you have to be diligent, dedicated, slow moving, and patient. The outer world may want you to move a lot faster, or you may feel like you need to move faster when you meet with others in the outer world, but you internally want to slow down. You want to take your time. Neville had a lot of fear as well because he had a lot of insecurities until he found his one area, and then he just wanted to focus on that. So while the outer world may be pulling you in a multitude of different inspirational directions, that can feel very challenging because internally you're like, no, I have to take my time. I have to be diligent. I have to be peaceful. I have to wait. I have to be slow. So there's this huge, huge energetic dissonance between the energies of the outside world and the energies that you're feeling internally, where there's this like, am I going to move slow or am I going to move fast? Internally, you just want to move slow. Internally, you just want to kind of hold away to what is comfortable for you. But that's, the universe is letting you know that it's time for you to feel comfortable in your emotions. This energetic dissonance between your inner and your outer world is what they're trying to help bring you comfort on. Comfort in the awareness that it's going to feel that way. And it's okay to feel that way. There's a counterbalance that you can find between these two energies. So let's find out what unseen help you have. We have the 10 of Wands with oppression. Saturn and Sagittarius. Okay, so Saturn and Sagittarius it can feel oppressive, but it's not oppressive in the way that you're like locked down like Hedwig is here. The unseen help that you have is someone is coming to pick the lock. It's like the Weasleys flying in and helping Harry in the second book. They come in so that they can break him free so that he can be unbound. Saturn in Sagittarius feels like an oppressive energy, but it's not. Saturn in Sagittarius is saying, yes, you have all this unbounded, unbridled ambition within you. I'm not trying to be oppressive. I'm trying to teach you how to harness it in the right way. So that you appreciate what it's like to be outside this cage. Learn what that's like. This unseen help that you have is someone breaking you out of the cage, but not just that, it's Saturn in Sagittarius. The unseen help that you have is Saturn teaching you what dedication, self-discipline, and diligence really is like. You understand what it's like to feel oppressed so that you won't ever do that to another person. It's about the lessons that you've learned. And that's incredibly, incredibly important. We may think that oppression does not seem like help, but when you feel that way, at some point you realize that either you're putting yourself in a cage or you're in a situation where you feel caged. And then, sorry guys, I had to yawn. At the end of all of it, all there is left to do is to break yourself free. And if you don't know how to ask for help, unseen help is always there. the unseen help here is literally the Weasleys coming in and teaching Harry how to pick a lock. So let's find out how you can step confidently into the unknown. Oh, we've got the Three of Wands with exploration. And we've got Diagon Alley and broomsticks here. So this is really, oh, what else? We've got the Sun in Aries. Ooh, so Aries season may be very significant for you guys. It may be very expansive for you guys when the Sun enters into Aries. And I want to say that happens on March 20th this year. Don't quote me on that because the time zones are different, but it varies between the 19th and the 21st right now. For when the spring or vernal equinox will be. So with this is saying that when you step confidently into the unknown, this is telling you to just blaze yourself really brightly. Yeah, it can be a challenge. It can be hard to do. Yeah, it can feel like a struggle at times. But here's the thing. You've gone through everything that you have gone through. It hasn't been for nothing. It's time for you to be like, you know what? The universe wants me to trust in my own emotions, trust in my own experiences. Yeah, the outside world wants me to do this. My inside world wants me to do this. And this dissonance can feel oppressive, but somebody has taught me how to break myself out of the cage. How do you break yourself out of the cage? You let yourself feel your emotions and let yourself explore. So let's get some messages here from the chakra cards to help you move forward. Okay, so I love it. We have sacral chakra affirmations. I trust my feelings and give them ample room for expression. So if you guys want to screenshot this or adapt it to whatever feels right to you, and we also have the card 28, which reduces to a 10. 10s are about closure. We've got 10 here. So this is something that helps you break free. It's trusting yourself. When you allow yourself to express and feel through your emotions, you really do set yourself free. So what else do we have? That's too many. Can we get one more for pile one? One more of the chakra cards for pile one. Oh, okay. We actually got two more. So we have crown chakra. This chakra is located at the crown of the head. This chakra is the source of enlightenment and our connection to the divine. And it has the card number 86, which reduces down to 14. So we've got temperance energy here. And then, oh my gosh, crown chakra affirmations. I am open to the abundance and the greatness the universe offers. Card number 93, which is a 12, which reduces to a 3. And this one wanted to come out really strongly. Heart, it says heart chakra affirmations. We'll move this up here. Heart chakra affirmations. I welcome love with an open heart. 58 reduces down, or 53 reduces down to an 8. So this is your sacral, your heart, and your crown. It's really realigning your emotional body, your mental body, and your soul essence, and coming back to spirit. Just like we've been talking about, coming back to spirit. Really allowing for yourself to feel completely what is right. But this is when you don't fully trust the universe for whatever reason. And, you know, sometimes we go through that. Sometimes we go through those moments where we just don't know how to trust the universe. We don't know how to feel about certain things. We can have this dissonance where we feel that offering coming in, but we don't want to trust it because we've been burned, we've been hurt. And yeah, it's easy to blame the universe, but it's not the universe's fault for another person's actions. So let's see what we have here. We have 2 chakra cards. Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure that they didn't want anything from the back of the deck. I'm gonna. So guys, do you want to know a little secret here? A little behind the scenes secret. I was not going to pull oracle cards. And then the guides were like, no, you're pulling oracle cards. And I was like, but I don't have any out and I'm already filming. And all of this is like a mental conversation while I was channeling. And they're like, you have this and you have that and you have this, like use what you have. And this may be something for you guys to learn as well. We can think that we can't do it because we don't have X, Y, and Z. But that can make us feel as though we have to react. Don't fall into don't fall into the materialism of another person. Allow yourself to see the value that you have here and now, right now, in all that you do. So here's the first crystal that we have. And this is muscovite. What it is, Hedi muscovite, also known as common mica, acts as a navigation tool for explorers of the supernatural and synchronistic. I love that. Who needs it? The pragmatic, empirical, and reasonable. Anyone who has ever asked themselves, how did I not see that coming? Yeah. Where to put it? Against your forehead while peering into the future. When to use it? When I want to believe is your MO. When you feel like you've been missing the signs. When you have a problem logic won't solve. When you've blown the lid off with too much meditation, microdosing, or moldavite and need to get a grip. And it says, develop your foresight. That's interesting. You guys might want to look up Prometheus and Epimetheus. And then the other one that we have is stalactite. Scolecite. I have no idea. I've never seen this before or worked with it. It is a super vibey, icy white stone that forms in needle-like bursts. Who needs it? Up all night worrying about the coming singularity types. Brave explorers of beautiful dreamscapes. Where to put it? Under your pillow before bed, wherever you want to establish an impenetrable chill zone. When to use it? When it's time to take your sleep hygiene to the next level, i.e. put down the phone, pick up a book, a paper one, sip a chamomile tea, slather on the lavender oil and wait for some rapid eye movement and those dreamy messages marked important by your subconscious. This is about diving into your dreams. All right. So finally, we're going to pull the mindfulness dice here. All right, so let's see. So as you guys start exploring, this is about exploring your dreams, exploring what you want, letting yourself let go of all the what ifs and what have yous and what has happened and trust yourself moving forward. Yes, there is that energy of, yeah, I want to believe in this person. I want to believe in this situation. I want to believe the best in everyone, and that's understandable. But sometimes the best in everyone is not who they are. And we have to see the reality of it. And our dreams will come forth to tell us. Even in meditation, it comes forth to tell us. So this is moving forward. Your next task is really going to be trusting your intuition, trusting the universe, trusting what you feel above and beyond, and trusting your heart more than anybody else's. Yeah. Love more, find forgiveness, mindful bites, and mindful breath. So this is about with loving more and finding forgiveness. Especially, wow, guys. I had 3 of these that were on the ground before. Okay. With love more and finding forgiveness especially, it's about really allowing yourself to love you more. When you love yourself more and you forgive yourself for not seeing what could have been or for not seeing how things actually were, for not seeing the truth of a situation, give yourself forgiveness. It's a lot easier to give other people forgiveness than to give ourselves forgiveness. It really is. And then the mindful bites and mindful breath, this is about consumption and inhalation. So with mindful bites, I know it talks about in the book, it talks about, chewing slowly so that you're being very mindful of what you're eating, how you're eating, so that because we can get into kind of a panic state. And when we're in a fight or flight state, we don't always realize that we're eating really rapidly. So we end up consuming more than we should, because when we're chewing slowly, we're sending signals to our brain that we're about to consume food. And as we chew, it actually sends the brain signals of how much we're consuming. So we don't overconsume, because if you're only chewing a little bit, then the brain thinks that it's just a little bit and you eat more than you should. But this is also about mindful bites. It's kind of like, a lot of people talk about how my readings have so much jammed into them that they need time to process. They need time to digest. And I've been more mindful about that. So I'm trying to lessen the amount of videos that I put out so that I give you guys the time that you need to process the messages that are coming in. Because that's more important to me, that you guys receive the messages and receive the totality of the messages and really get a chance to process it and put things into motion, into action in your life that will better you. I don't want you guys to mindfully or mindlessly consume my material. I want you to be very mindful about what it is that you get out of my readings. So I have to be very mindful of that myself. I myself have found that there are times where I'll watch a lot of readers because I want to make sure that I support everybody. But I get to a point where sometimes I will play a video that I know I'm not meant to watch, and I'll turn the volume down and give them the view, give them the interaction because I support them, but I'm not meant to interact with it at that point. And I try to be incredibly mindful about that. Sometimes we can become overconsumptive. So we get stuck in that spiral, and then we're consuming so much that we get really confused. Then we restrict our breathing. So mindful bites and mindful breath really are intertwined with each other, with really taking the time that you need to consume in a mindful way, consume in a way where you're not trying to just simply place a Band-Aid over a wound, but you're allowing the wound to heal in the time it's meant to heal and finding comfort in what you are doing. Now, these three literally fell on the floor. So that to me was like, these are some things that are impacting your root chakra that you need to be aware of. Oh my God. Okay. Root chakra affirmations. With every breath, I release the anxiety and fear within me. Card 14. Then we have crown chakra stones. Healing crystals can be used to open, balance, and heal the crown chakra. Selenite can be used, used to open and activate. And this stone also cleanses the auric field and clears blocked energy. Clear quartz is good for amplifying the energy in this chakra. It brings a heightened spiritual awareness and expands consciousness. Amethyst is great for meditation and helps to understand the root cause of imbalance, including revealing destructive behaviors. Oh my gosh, I just realized we had 86 here, which reduces to a 14. 96 reduces to a 15. And then we have third eye chakra affirmations. I am confident in my ability to make my life work. 82, which reduces to a 10. Another 10. Oh my God, 28 and 82. Wow. Okay, so this is about the feelings and the ways that you give yourself room to express your feelings so that you can be very confident moving forward. Holy cow, you guys, this is crazy how amazing these things flowed together in such a beautiful way. All right, this is what I have for you, pile one. Thank you for letting me cry with you. Thank you for letting me empathize with you and sympathize with you. And thank you for everything that you do. I am so truly honored every day that I get to come here and do these readings. So thank you so much. I want to say thank you so much to Czar for this amazing message and collaboration that is just awesome. I love it. All right. Pile one, thank you again. I want to say thank you to your guides, my guides, and Spirit for facilitating the connection between our energies and allowing these messages to flow through so smoothly. Please make sure that you guys take the time to go to Zara's channel, subscribe to her channel, give her a lot of love and support. She is an incredible creator. She is incredibly insightful. She is incredibly tapped into spirit, and I am honored to not just be able to work with her, but also to be friends with her on a personal level. So I definitely strongly advise and suggest her to all of you. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you again for being here. Check the description box in the comment section for all my links, but also more especially for my link to Zara's channel. So go check her out. All right, you guys, I love you all, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, pile two. So we're going to go ahead and cleanse and uplift the energy of this space here a little bit. If you guys can hear Willow whining, it's because I went and I grabbed myself something to eat. Which is, it's literally, like, I know it looks gross. It's not. It's literally a bowl full of cucumbers covered in balsamic vinaigrette with some basil on it. It's like my all-time favorite food since about the summer of 2022. I have been eating that. It's really great for the heart chakra. It's great for the heart chakra with the Earth Star chakra. It's really just, great for the body. It's so healing and so soothing and like such a refreshing food. And especially for, say, like wintertime. It is so great for wintertime. I don't know why the tangent, but I'm here for it for sure. So pile two, we are looking at, with this collaboration, your next task. And we're looking at in terms of like the Triwizard Tournament from Harry Potter. And the Triwizard Tournament, it had 3 different tasks. With this one in particular, with relationships coming up, your pile, the energy, is actually focused a lot on the energy around getting prepared for the second task. So the reason why I say that is because during the second before the second task, there was a lot of strain and stress on relationships in Harry's life. It started beginning before the first task, when Ron really got upset with Harry for being part of the Triwizard Tournament, and he just wouldn't listen to reason about how Harry did not choose this. He didn't choose to be a part of the Triwizard Tournament. It was literally forced on him, and his own best friend didn't believe him. He thought he was in it for glory, for fame, for riches. And, Ron, having been perpetually the little brother, the one that was, the youngest brother in a whole family full of kids, he always felt like he was the one who was forgotten, the one who was ignored. And so that really put a strain on their relationship. But before the Triwizard Tournament second task, which is in the lake, which is actually, it's the theme and the inspiration for Zara's reading. And FYI, this is a collaboration with Zara from Lunar Refresh, which, yay, I have been asking her to do a collaboration with me since February of 2022. So this is a long time coming for me for sure. Give me just a moment, guys. I'm going to refresh the candles here because I prefer having them going. Okay. So we're back. And we have now advanced and evolved our candles. So we're using my bigger candles instead of the tea candles, which is awesome to me. My guides were like, no, we're going to do this. And then we're going to cleanse out. Well, we talk about relationships. So as in Harry Potter, as they were coming up to the second task, there was the Yule Ball. And with the Yule Ball, obviously people have to ask each other to go to the ball. And Harry had a crush on Cho Chang. But Cedric also had a crush on Cho Chang. And this, I like her, you like her thing, where Cedric wasn't aware of it, Harry was well aware of it. Cedric took Cho Chang to the Yule Ball. And because of that, when Cedric came to offer his advice on how Harry could be helped with sorting out the information for the dragon egg from the first task using the prefect's bathroom, Harry he was really against taking the advice. He was really kind of giving a lot of pushback. Why? Because the guy that offered him the advice was the guy that liked the girl that Harry liked, and the girl that Harry liked was dating Cedric. And those kind of relationship things can be really straining and stressful for a kid. Now, when we think about relationships, when we're moving into the adult realm, sometimes, and this is something that I've noticed, sometimes when we get into relationships, we realize, and relationships, this isn't just romantic, this is like widespread friendships, family. Sometimes we realize that there are just certain people in relationships in our lives who did not get themselves out of that teenager phase. So they hold grudges and they put limitations and expectations that are kind of unfairly placed on someone in their lives. And they do this because, well, you know what? Someone at some point did this. And so they have built this structure that this is how they have to behave or whatever. So in that way, it's kind of like, well, I won't take your advice because you XYZ, or because someone who you remind me of XYZ. And that can be really straining and stressful for us. So let's find out here what it is that you learned from your relationships recently. It says, the walls of Hogwarts Castle are lined with moving pictures. If you could have a moving portrait of anyone in your life, who would it be? Give them a call today, or if you're unable to speak with them directly, write them a letter. Okay. You know, now I'm being brought to Sir Cadogan. So Sir Cadogan was one of the portraits that was in Harry Potter 3, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. And he replaced the fat lady. And he held himself to the knight's code, the code of chivalry, of honor, of integrity. And while that's all well and good, he lacked a little bit of common sense. And he was apt to try and start fights more than he was apt to discuss things. But when you're trapped in a portrait and there's no portraits that you can move to, really it's either you can be in your portrait or you can disappear. And you can only disappear if you have a portrait of yourself that exists elsewhere. So there's a lot of rules and regulations to the way that portraits work in Harry Potter terms. But if you had a picture of someone on your wall and you could ask them all the questions that you have not been able to ask them in your life, what would you ask? What's holding you back from that? Like, can you call them up? If you can't call them up, write them a letter. Even if you don't send them the letter, sometimes it's just about getting that out. Getting all of those words out that need to be purged out of you. For a lot of you, I don't feel like this is really like a toxic situation or a toxic relationship that has ended. It's kind of like, okay, we'll take me for instance. In my book, Chemistry with Kismet, Journeying into the Self to Heal the Mind, most of that book, it was based off of the first working title of that was Letters to My Synchronistic Inspiration. It didn't test well. It did not test well at all. There was like, no. It was really not. It was a beautiful turn of phrase for me. It was not a good testing title for the rest of the world. But be that as it may, I still put the letters in there. So each of my sections is contained different lessons that I've learned on this journey of life, and a multitude of ways. I'm sorry, guys. I just got a text from my daughter's school. Got me a little distracted. But it was, oh, please give me just one moment, guys. I do need to handle this family thing. Okay, pile 2. You know, I actually contemplated refilming your pile entirely, but I did not want to do that. I want to really own completely how this reading is going, because to me, whenever there are situations that come up that have to be handled like that in the middle of a reading, there's a reason why. So I was talking to Zar about the way that her reading went, because she's already filmed prior to me filming. And we don't compare notes on what the messages were or anything like that, but we do talk about the energy. And she did have an energy, like a pushback energy on a couple of piles where she had to refilm them because tech issues and this and that. And to me, that speaks to a lot of distractions. Now, the reason why I say this is speaking to a lot of distractions is because whatever that message was that I was on before, this one is now taking precedence. So we're talking about, if you could have a moving portrait of anyone in your life, who would it be? Give them a call today or write them a letter. To me, this is talking about relationships that have not necessarily gone the way that you want them to go, or that have ended in some way, shape, or form, whether that is ended through the loss of life or ended through the relationship just simply breaking down. And at the same time, this relationship is still weighing on you. It's still hanging over your mind more than your heart, because this does not feel like a heightened emotional state that I am tapping into with your energy. It feels a lot like it's in your mind. So when I have had relationships that have fallen apart in which it's impacted my mind, it has really held me back from fully engaging in future relationships. It's because of a sense of things being unresolved in life. And when things feel unresolved in our life, we have to ask ourselves, what do I need to do to resolve this? And in a lot of ways, in order to resolve these issues, we have to be able to talk it out with a person that our mind is stuck on. And if you can't, then one of the things that I will always talk about is purging. When I talk about purging things out, I will sit and I will talk to my husband, David, or I'll talk to Ember, Moon Tarot, my best friend, or I'll talk to my other best friend, Alex, or I'll talk to Zar about things. Or, you know, I have a multitude of resources in my life now where I can purge things out, knowing that I'm not energetically endowing them with the energy that I'm in. But it's just like having a sounding board. Even if you don't have that, that's why this write them a letter is coming up. So the prior phase, the prior lesson that you were learning and where you're at right now is learning how to get out of your own way, kind of like, no offense, guys, but it's learning how to get out of your own way when it comes to connections, because something has challenged you directly. And now you want to be able to resolve this. And that's 100% understandable. And you should resolve it. But if you don't have the means to resolve it with that person, if you don't, and even if it's not that you don't have the means, like you just are like, no, I will never speak to this person again. I understand that. You know, Harry never got a firm chance to resolve a lot when it came to Cedric, because his spirit didn't stay around in ghost form. And so when it came to Harry and Cho Chang dating later on in the 5th book, he never got that opportunity to resolve that. There was never that forum, that grounding point for it. If Cedric's parents had made a portrait of him, he would have that. He would be able to go and do that because the portrait captures the essence of the person. So it kind of gives you an ability to talk to somebody who has moved to the next world or the next realm or what have you. So in a way, these portraits give you the opportunity to keep that relationship alive. But Harry never got that with Cedric. So when Harry dated Cho Chang, there was a lot of tension and anguish and anxiety and angst that went along with it because her boyfriend died. And now she's dating the guy that she liked, who didn't ask her out prior, and had like, there was just this multitude of, like high school things. So we can live out of our high school existence. We can live out of our pain, out of our fallen and faltered relationships, or we can choose to purge it out of ourselves and our energy and our mind. And that's really what your guides are leading you towards understanding. Right now, where you're at, the theme and the lesson that you've been moving through, yet that task prior was about purging out relationships and seeing how you can move forward in a new way. So let's see how it impacted your values and beliefs. While we may come from different places and speak in different tongues, our hearts beat as one. Professor Dumbledore, Harry and the Goblet of Fire. I love that because this is the first one that is very specific to the Goblet of Fire, which is what the Triwizard Tournament was in. It says this quote from Professor Dumbledore describes the value of extending a friendly hand to people whose backgrounds and perspectives are different from yours. Think about some ways in your own life that you can honor diversity and practice inclusion. And that there, in and of itself, again, talks about relationships. Sometimes we need diverse relationships, relationships with people who come from a variety of different backgrounds and places and experiences in order for us to grow within ourselves as well. And I'm not trying to insinuate that you're meant to use your relationships in terms of like, how is this relationship going to serve me in growing as a person? Because then you're kind of negating the actual essence of the person that you're in a relationship with. This is actually about helping you see yourself in terms of certain things. Now, I'm being brought back to the walls. It says the walls of Hogwarts Castle are lined with moving pictures. Now we can take this and make it something different. So you could have walls around your heart, walls around your mind, where you won't allow a new perspective or a new relationship in because of the walls. And on the walls are the moving pictures of the people who have created pain enough for you to put these walls up. Your walls are nothing more or less than a physical or an emotional and energetic representation of the pain that you endured from said relationship in the past. So how do you get it out? You talk to the wall. You talk to the painting that's on the wall. You talk to these things. You purge it out so that you can open that. And now I'm being brought to like Frozen and Elsa and Anna and opening the gates and allowing new people in and allowing that perspective to shift. So this is about allowing yourself and your mind to get curious again in a way that you haven't allowed yourself to do so in the past because you have had some very fraught relationships that have led you to build a wall around your heart. So let's take a look at the cards now. We have this one right here is your the theme of your new energy transformation or your new transformation. This is the theme that you're moving into for your next task, essentially. These are your outer challenges, your inner challenges. This is unseen help. And this one right here is helping you step confidently into the unknown. So let's take a look at the overall theme of your new challenge. Yes, we have the Queen of Swords. I talked about getting curious, and that's a lot of that Page of Swords energy. The Page of Swords is that investigator energy. The Queen of Swords is moving from a state of utter clarity. This is about you having your next phase is you're moving with clear-cut precision. Why? Because you have spoken and purged out of you any confusion, any cloudiness, anything that may have been cutting you and cutting you down from the past. You're essentially stripping that bare, getting utter clarity and moving forward. And I love that her focus is moving this direction because it's like you're getting clarity on what your outer challenges are and what they're teaching you based off of what you have experienced in the past. Understanding that we're all connected and therefore each and every one of our actions and reactions impact everyone else in the ways that and we're the ones responsible for how they impact. How we move determines how they impact. If you move from a place that is not of your highest and greatest good and your highest energy, then you're not moving from your best self. And so you're impacting everyone on that lower level, and you get those responses back because that's how you're operating out of. It's about making a conscious decision to operate out of a higher level and a higher frequency and a higher awareness, higher perspective. It's about elevating yourself above the walls that have been built to see the core within. So let's see what your outer challenges are. We have the Queen of Wands. Your outer challenges are going to be people who essentially assert dominance and control in this world. I don't normally read the Queen of Wands that way, and especially when we're talking about Molly Weasley, but there could be here, because your next theme is the Queen of Swords. It's learning how to see through other people who try to take the value and the power from someone else. I almost want to take this Queen of Wands and flip her upside down. So I don't normally read reversals, but I have this very strong energy that that's how this is coming in. So if you think about Molly Weasley, she is a force to be reckoned with. However, there are times where she doesn't use it for the best. So she asserts power and control over, say, Arthur Weasley, Arthur, her husband, who gets really curious about certain things and is far more relaxed than Molly is. But Molly's whole demeanor and approach is really coming from a place of love. So this is about recognizing when someone is not moving from a place of love necessarily, they're moving from a place of power, of wanting to assert power and control over another person. Your outer challenge is to be very clear within yourself when someone moves that direction towards you. It's knowing exactly how you move. Your outer challenge is also going to be in standing up for yourself and standing in your power, regardless of the actions and or reactions of anyone else coming at you. It's about knowing what your worth is, knowing what your value is, and sitting very proudly in that energy and saying, you know what? I know that you may perceive me in this way, but I have utter clarity on myself. I know where I'm moving, how I'm moving. I know my own power, and you don't get the opportunity to take that away from me. Wow, you guys. Okay, let's see your inner challenges. Oh my God, you're kidding me. Your inner challenge is the King of Swords. Normally, I'd say this is counterpart energy, but this is internal counterpart energy. So this is talking about an inner journey to balance in very clear-cut ways your divine masculine and divine feminine. This is saying, I know who I am. I absolutely love this because we have Sirius Black here with his family portrait behind him, and even Creature, his house elf here. And Sirius Black sitting here, and he knows I am going against the entirety of my family line. I understand that I'm going against the entirety of my family line, but I know what I stand for, and I know what I'm here for, and I know what is right, and I know what is wrong, and I stand firmly. I stand bastion against all of the ways I have grown before, and I will not falter from that because I know what I'm here to stand up and do. It's like you're gaining utter clarity internally in this next phase of what patterns and cycles you're breaking in your family line and in your life and in your journey thus far. You're gaining that clarity, and it doesn't matter. You can be surrounded by people who are making the wrong choices and doing the wrong things and moving from the wrong energies. And it's like, I won't fall to that. I won't falter to that. I'm going to stand firm in who I am. And no matter how many people come at you with this kind of fiery nature, the swords cut through it every single time. And I love the Queen of Wands personally. I love the Queen of Wands energy, but this is powerful. This is mental fortitude, mental strength, mental fortitude. This is you being utterly clear on your direction moving forward. And it's going to challenge you because you have to move forward with a clarity that may deter or go against other people and the ways in which you were raised and the ways that you grew up, because this is your inner challenge. It's sitting in your own energy versus the energy of all those around you and the ways that you have grown before. So let's see what kind of unseen help we have for you to stand in your power. Wow, we have the Emperor. You guys have some massive, massive power here. I actually want to, nope, okay. I was like, I think I want to flip the last one first, but no, I don't, because we're looking at the Emperor, and I love that we have, it's James with the stag, and we literally have the Patronus stag right here, because this is how Harry moved forward. So the unseen help that you have is beautiful, loving, divine, masculine energy from the spiritual realm coming forward to show you your own strength and the magnitude of who you are. It's knowing that you can shapeshift and being firm in your own stability and your own foundations. This is a lot about your divine feminine and divine masculine energy. The unseen help that you have is the spirit realm. Wow. You know, I've been yawning a lot with readings, and usually when I'm yawning during readings, it's like I have to move energy through, because energy is so high that if I don't move it through that way, I won't breathe properly. So this may be like a lot of help that you have is actually transmuting energy in a new way, getting more sleep, getting more rest, feeling more rested. Even if it doesn't have to do with sleep, but feeling more rested, more grounded, more assured of yourself, feeling very firm in who you are and where you're moving forward towards. The Emperor energy, that's Aries energy. And Aries energy right now, that Aries season, that new year, that new beginning energy that we talk about in the beginning of January, that's actually an Aries season. And so that energy coming in here is like really strong, like, hey, grab the buck by the horns and go after it. There is the help that you're getting in maintaining this clarity whenever anything comes at you that might challenge you, is knowing, you know what, you can challenge me, but I'm the Emperor. In this scenario, I'm the Emperor. So the Queen of Wands really doesn't have a say over the Emperor. The Emperor actually reigns above and supreme to the Queen of Wands. So it's recognizing that you are the sovereign ruler of your own power, your own perception, and your own journey. You have that within yourself. So let's see this energy of how you can step confidently into the unknown. Good Lord. We have the King of Cups. Whoo, buddy. You guys have court cards, major arcana. You guys have some heavy hitting energy here. But it's heavy hitting divine masculine, divine feminine energies. We literally have everything on the board save for earth energy. So this is balancing the heart, the mind, the soul. It's bringing your three primary energy bodies back into balance so that you can anchor it into the physical, just like the walls of Hogwarts Castle and the portraits. As understanding all the different facets of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Now, if you're being asked to step confidently into the unknown and it's through the King of Cups, it's asking you to realize that the King of Cups in reverse is that mental and emotional manipulation energy. So because you understand that energy, you're being asked to stand in your regality, stand in the truth and the honoring of who you are. Both the King of Swords and the King of Cups can oftentimes be very cold and cutting energies, almost cruel in a way. But it's not about cruelty. It's about moving from a place in which you are utterly true to yourself. You see the entirety of the emotional body and you experience it. And then you move from a place of peace and balance and clarity so that no one can actually challenge you. Now, we have Lucius Malfoy, and at the end of the day, Lucius Malfoy loved his son and his wife and his family. Yes, he loved his status, but he loved his family more, and he was willing to sacrifice everything that he had and grown and built because his family was up for being sacrificed to the cause, and he wasn't going to do that. So at the end of everything, though, it's really hard to see Lucius as having a positive character arc at the very end. And I'm going based off of the movies now, not the books. But at the end of the movies, you have Lucius and Narcissa and Draco leaving the battle of Hogwarts. They're abandoning everything. They're not choosing a side. They are becoming Switzerland. That is the King of Cups. There is no side to take. There is only neutrality. And when you stand in neutrality, you become the white peacock. You understand that every peacock has feathers. Every person has their own unique peacock feathers. And if we are all seeing it as the white peacock, then we don't see the ways in which we can be like, oh, this one's more beautiful than the other, because they all look the same. It's about understanding the nature of the heart being the same within us all. And you move from that neutrality, so you're not taking positions, you're not taking sides. And in that way, you don't have to build walls, because you're neither giving nor taking in excess of anything. And you don't allow for that to happen. So we have crown chakra with yoga poses. To open the crown chakra, meditative poses are useful to release tension. These include the lotus, the half lotus, the savasana, and the tree pose. So this may be about helping open your mind up, or helping you open other people's minds up. Again, I said we had the three main bodies, the mind, body, and soul connection. So this is the energy of realizing that, we've got the spiritual, the emotional, and the mental bodies aligning. So now this is about bringing it into your physical body. You bring it into your physical body by anchoring the wisdom of the crown into the root and the earth star chakra. So, and now we're being brought back to my freaking bowl of cucumbers. We've got heart chakra concepts. This chakra's key concepts are love, trust, compassion, and empathy. This chakra's color is green and its element is air. So if you think about the swords, those are air elements. So they work with the heart chakra. But you have to work with the heart chakra in a way that you're incorporating love, trust, compassion, and empathy, while also maintaining being Switzerland. You know, like you have to maintain that separation. I'm hearing separation of church and state. Okay, sure. Separation of church and state, or what have you. Like it's understanding that we're here to anchor certain things down, but we're not meant to take sides in conflict. We're meant to see the totality of it all and then move from that space. Okay. I am not going to take the magnitude of cards that just flew on the floor. I will take a couple of them because they really stuck out. Okay. All right. On the back, we have third eye chakra affirmations. I am worthy of the life I want. Now, this is so important right now, especially with 83. It reduces to an 11. The reason why I say that's so important right now for you is because that's really talking about you realizing that if you want to live this life, if you want to have relationships where you don't have to have walls built around your heart, built around your mind, that you have to see yourself as worthy of these relationships that you wish to have and move from that place. And we've got crown chakra affirmations. I always trust and follow my intuition. Another crown chakra. So we'll put this here. Solar plexus affirmations. I honor the power within me and I honor myself. And then we have third eye chakra with yoga poses. It says the following poses can help relieve tension and activate the third eye. Humble warrior, wide-legged forward bend, locust, camel, dolphin, and child's pose. So if you want to Google any of those, by all means. And then we finally have the heart chakra, Anahata. This is the fourth chakra in your body system. The heart chakra gives empathy and compassion. It's responsible for your ability to forgive and accept. It's also the chakra involved in changes and transformations. This chakra integrates complementary forces, bringing together earthly and spiritual aspirations. This is the chakra that governs how you relate to people and how you handle relationships. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. And see, we may come from different places and speak different tongues. So we may see and perceive the world differently. But with him saying our hearts beat as one, it's saying that we all love. We all have these same chakras. We all have these same pieces of our energy fields. And how each one operates depends on each one of us, but we can be a beacon of that. We can, again, I'm getting the word stand bastion. So this is about understanding and balancing your mental bodies, the divine feminine, divine masculine within the mental energy and the mental sphere so that they can align with your emotional body. It's realizing that you can relieve tension through your physical body of these higher chakras. And when we have these higher chakras being hyper amplified and they're all tense and built up tension where there's a struggle to trust yourself, a struggle to trust that your life is what it's meant to be, we have to realize that we can release that on a physical level, but we have to choose to do that. So sometimes it's about that physical release, even just writing a letter to release yourself from the ways in which you haven't honored yourself because of this relationship or that relationship. It will help you move forward. You want to move forward with clarity, with peace, but it's about knowing that you can be open and honest and loving while still being like, no, this is my boundary. This is what's right for me. Okay, so we've got one. Spirit, can we get one more, please? Got two more. Ooh, interesting. Nope. Okay, I was going to say on the back, but no, they said no back energy for this one. All right, so here's the first one that came out. And this is Vanadinite. Interesting. What it is, it's playful, geometric, and fiery. Vanadinite, a mining byproduct often sourced from America's Southwest, form in orange to red hexagonal shaped crystals when lead ore oxidizes. I thought it said lead R. I was like, wait, what? Lead ore oxidizes. Who needs it? Those lacking self-discipline. Where to put it? Vanadinite has a high lead content, so definitely not in your mouth. I love how succinct these cards can be. It's so funny. When to use it? When it's time to live in the moment, when you are the prime audience for a motivational speech, whether it's hard work, making art, or just a blissed out moment free from the mind's ongoing commentary. An energizing meditation with Vanadinite can help knock down whatever stands between you and your happy place. And it says, break through your big blocks. Okay, so we've got that one. And then here, this one I love. I have this one around me all the time. We have shungite. What it is, shungite is a coal-like mineral. Its carbon molecules called fullerenes or buckyballs form in the shape of tiny geodesic domes. Geodesic domes. It's electroconductive, and it's found only in Karelia, Russia, where local spas have taken advantage of the mineral's purifying powers for centuries. Who needs it? Anybody looking to get honest with themselves. Where to put it? In your water bottle to create shungite-infused drinking water. Meditating with shungite can get the good vibes flowing through you like electricity through a neon sign that reads, yes. Oh my God. There was a time frame there for so many months where I would keep getting an energy within a pile that was like, yes, queen, all the time, like the yes, queen cat. You guys must be that energy. Oh, I love it. When to use it? When it's time to reclaim your power from wherever it's been and whomever it's been with. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was saying with the Queen of Wands. Get real with your truth. Hell yes. Oh my gosh. You guys are like, I want to pump you up. I want to oh yeah, let's just do this upbeat, super pumpy stuff. This is not me. I don't know, but I really love your energy. With that motivational speeches, I love it. No, for real though, guys, like this is like own your truth. Don't let the truth and the ways that other people operate hold you back from standing fully in your power. That's bullshit. Point blank, period. Just like Tay says all the time, point blank, period. That is freaking bullshit. Do not pander or cave to anybody else's truth because their truth is not yours and your truth reigns supreme. Wow. Your guides are like, preach it. If you are in here and you are Sarah Jane and you're like, yeah, I love it when you preach. I feel like I'm taking you guys to church. Maybe, you know what? Why don't you guys check out the song Take Me to Church by Hoosier? That song is so powerful and it speaks to both of these, but it also speaks to this inner lesson versus the outer challenge of the Queen of Swords with the Queen of Wands, because it's literally like, take me to church. Goes, take me to church, worship at, I'll worship like a dog at the shrine of your lies. I'll tell you my sins so you can sharpen your knife. Offer me that deathless death. Good God, let me show you my life. Yeah, it's literally like, take me to church. You know, I'll worship at the shrine of your lies. Sure, but I'm going to tell you my truth. You can drive me out with torches and pitchforks, but it's a very scathing song about listening to the truth of someone else, listening to the truth and the ways that people perceive the truth to be, and how we are not meant to structure our own personal truths on them. So let's take a look at Tiger's Eye now. We have Tiger's Eye. And you know what, guys? I literally have I have a raw Tiger's Eye sitting like right here. I don't have my shungite on me and I would not put it on here anyway, for the sake that shungite to me is an incredibly personal stone. When you work with shungite crystal, it is literally like, do not allow anybody else into that stone. It's yours. It's your purification energy, and it's very powerful. There are not a lot of stones that I operate that way with when I work with them, but shungite definitely is one. So we've got Tiger's Eye. What it is, Tiger's Eye is a golden brown quartz displaying a light reflecting optical phenomenon known as chatoans. I might not be saying that, or cat's eyes, that appears just below the stone's surface. Who needs it? The currently overthinking and mood swinging Geminis and Virgos. No offense, guys. I'm literally a Gemini sun in sidereal, and I am a progressed Virgo rising. So I overthink everything all the time. I keep Tiger's Eye around me, and especially in my workspace, all the time. If you are a content creator, Tiger's Eye is your new best friend, and it comes in a multitude of colors. So definitely make friends with it. Trust me, it is life-saving. It's actually mental saving. And with your lesson being the Queen of Swords, this literally is just what you need. So where to put it? In a string of prayer beads hanging from your middle finger, counted during meditation along with your blessings. I'm literally seeing someone with a Tiger's Eye mala with this like wound around their middle finger, holding their middle finger up. And now I'm hearing Middle Finger by Missio. Like, yeah, literally, like, don't try and tell me what you think I should know. I know what I know, what I know. And you can, I'm hearing get fucked nerd. Like, sorry guys, but you guys have some sassy energy. I love it. I love it. Okay, when to use it? When your thoughts are not your friends. When reading Jungian theories and attempting to decipher a Zen koan. I'm sorry. I literally feel both those things so deeply. When you're all roar and not enough purr, when only equanimity of mind, body, spirit, oh my God, mind, body, spirit, left brain and right brain can get you square with the universe. Balance your whole being. If you guys have not studied Jungian psychology in any way, shape, or form, you might not understand that. Or like any of the Zen koans, like I can't even remember where I learned about. I learned about Zen koans through the Gene Keys with Richard Rudd. And even his perceptions of things that are, it's like a modernized version of Zen koan. It is a lot. It is a lot mentally. And so it takes time, energy, effort. It takes a clear mind and a clear heart. And when you have other people in your energy field for whatever reason, especially when it's a mental reason, you really need to get that clarity. Tiger's Eye, like I used to hate Tiger's Eye, and now I have such a high appreciation and a high love, and I value the stone itself so greatly. There's also a stone called Muggle Stone, which is Tiger's Iron, which helps in a way where it takes Tiger's Eye's energy, but it also applies it to like the physical world and moving forward in the physical world in a new way. It's kind of like blending these two together. That's kind of the energy you get a lot with them. Because Shungite was the one that had the buckyballs. Yeah. So it is very much like blending these two energies together. I don't think Shungite is in Tiger's Iron, but because of the iron ore, the way that it is, it really does work very interesting together. And it does help you with motivation to take all of the clarity that you get from Tiger's Eye and move forward. So this is about really clearing your mind of those relationships. This was not at all the way I expected this reading to go, you guys. I totally was like, oh my God, I got to prep myself for like really bad, like pain in the heart, like brokenhearted. And even Willow's like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. Like, let's move on. So for me, that's a huge indicator here that you guys are ready to move on. You just need to clear a little bit of mental energy. Do you want to come and say hi? Can I close this up, please? Okay, I'm going to let her out. Got it. Well, you know what? Let's close this down because these are all the messages I have for you. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you to your guides, my guides, and Spirit for facilitating the connection between our energies and allowing these messages to flow forth so smoothly. I want to say thank you so much to Czar for doing this collaboration. It's been so inspirational, so energizing, and so upbeat and uplifting for me to sit here and do this channeled message. And I also want to say thank you again one more time to you guys, Pile 2. So make sure you guys check out the description box and the comment section. There are links to Zara's channel and her reading, as well as a multitude of other links, but definitely check hers out first and foremost. And with all that being said, I will see you guys at my next reading. I love you all. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. So let's get your energy cleansed and uplifted. I'm sorry. I know I'm giggly. My energy is like super energized. Okay, let's try and get back to this. Okay. So first of all, thank you for being here. If you chose Pile 3, we are talking about the phase that you just ended with battling our fears and moving forward. So this is a collaboration with the one and only Czar from Lunar Refresh Tarot. And we're basing it on Harry Potter inspiration. Now I'm sticking a little bit closer to Harry Potter than she is, but it did really source originally from Harry Potter. And we both are like, well, we're just going to let the messages go where they need to go. And yeah, I had been getting messages about mermaids and whatnot prior to her filming, so I knew it was going to kind of take a different route for her. And I love that. I love that because we have this basis and then we get to expand based off of that. Now, the reason why I'm talking to you guys about that, not just because it's the collaboration, but also because with this battling our fears card, a lot of what I am getting from you guys is that you guys are on that like last, or you, not even that you're on the last task. It's like you have come through the end of the last task. So in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, during the Triwizard Tournament, the last task is where they go to the Quidditch field, and the Quidditch field is covered in a maze. And it's got all these huge bushes and they have grown into a maze. So while that in and of itself is one issue, the big fear that comes along with the third task is the fear of not knowing, the fear of the unknown. Now, I think we can all personally relate to that in some way, shape, or form. I know that there's always going to be certain people within a group that are like, yeah, I don't fear the unknown. I don't have a fear of not knowing. But in a way, you know, if you're in a situation, say for instance, you have to have a biopsy, a medical biopsy, and you don't know whether this biopsy is going to come back as benign or malignant, cancerous, non-cancerous. You don't know what it's going to say. That can be scary. That can be a scary situation. So having to battle through the fear of not knowing, the fear of the unknown, is really what you guys have moved out of. So when you're battling this fear of not knowing or the fear of the unknown, one of the number one ways that I have learned to go through that is the Tao, the Tao Te Ching. Studying the Tao was incredibly illuminative and expansive for me because it's all about the sage, the middle path, the mystic path. It's about understanding that we are neither and or, we are everything. We are both and I talk about that a lot. You are both and. You are not either or, you are both and. You are both masculine and feminine. You are both adult and child. You are both and. You are not either masculine or feminine. You are both and. And when you realize that you are both and, you stop associating yourself as one or the other. It's like a cessation of labeling and identification. When you step into that state, then you realize that the best place to be is in the place of not knowing. Not knowingness is like, it's what I call the Jon Snow way of life. It's like, you know, there's in Game of Thrones, Ygritte says something to Jon Snow. She says, "You know nothing, Jon Snow," when he's talking about emotions and how she feels and whatever. And she says, "You know nothing, Jon Snow." And, you know, of course, all women can absolutely use this, you know, I mean, men can use it too, but it's kind of like, you know, okay, you know nothing, Jon Snow. So he knows nothing about feminine wiles and interests and emotions and all of this stuff. And absolutely. So adopting the Jon Snow way of life is saying, I don't know how this person feels. I don't know how that person feels. What I do know is how I feel, what I perceive, but I don't know X, Y, and Z. As a psychic myself, I had to learn that the not knowing is actually the better place to come at my gifts because I don't want to know. So for instance, when I do a psychic reading, when I do a personal reading, I do it cold. I prefer the not knowingness of everything. I prefer not knowing the finer details of the person. And I've actually had people who have booked with me specifically with the intention of me not knowing anything about them beyond their name. And that's great for me because that gives me an opportunity to really use and utilize my gifts where I can't adapt my reading based off of what I know of the person. I can just do the reading. So pile 3, the fear that you've been battling is that not knowingness. And it in that fear, because I'm seeing the maze now with my third eye, in that fear, there's a lot to it. Because inside of that maze, it's not just a maze. It's a maze, and then it's this. And then it's that. It's this is the same energy as my labyrinth pile for my soul purpose reading. It's that it is and it isn't, but it is more and it is also less. And it's the encompassing of all things in that way. So you've really had to be put through trials, tribulations, temptations, challenges, hurdles, obstacles surrounding what you are okay with, and then following up with, it's like, okay, I'm okay with this. And then you get challenged with, are you actually okay with that? Like, I'm okay with not knowing X, Y, and Z. And then something comes in that challenges you to the core of your being on whether you're actually okay with not knowing X, Y, and Z. So for instance, we're going to go back to that biopsy analogy. So like, I'm okay with not knowing whether I have this. I'm okay with not being aware. I'm okay with not knowing, because regardless of whether I do or don't, I'm still going to act and react in this manner in my life. It's not going to change who I am or how I am. Is that the case? And if that's the case, then what I'm getting is you've faced kind of what felt like obstacles or challenges to that perception. I don't even feel like it's necessarily the universe that is doing this. It's like you weren't actually meant to be tested, but you were testing yourself in a way. And it was almost like a subconscious testing where you were actually manifesting certain situations. Now, I know that the biopsy argument for that one is not necessarily the greatest argument, but it's more of a means of testing your own intuition, your own insights, your own awareness. Are you done with this certain cycle? Now let me see, because you're going to come into contact with something within that cycle. And have you moved on? Have you learned the lesson? Now, this is something that can come in a multitude of forms, because, with the maze in the third task, it came in a multitude of forms. You had a sphinx that was, speaking in riddles, and you had moving walls. And then you also had the contestants that were literally like under spells and being controlled by somebody else. Like there was no safe space within this maze. And all you wanted to do was find the center, find the middle point, and you had one spell to help you. Everything else was kind of like a shit show. It was a crapshoot of what can I use and what can I do in this situation. You have to prepare for everything and expect absolutely nothing. It's like running the gauntlet. It's like being the running man. Like there's so many different analogies for this one singular thing that you just went through, that you just moved out of. So this current energy that you're in, the theme with this battling your fears, is more or less battling off everything that constitutes not knowing, so that you can learn to trust your own inner knowing, your own inner truth, your own inner insight and wisdom, and move from that place every single time you move. Not moving from a place of fear because you have to know something, but moving from a place of I am perfectly happy and content with not knowing this thing, and I'm still going to move forward in exactly the way that I feel is right for me. So let's take a look at this Battling Your Fears card. Says, Obliviate is a powerful spell used in Harry Potter films to erase memories. If you could use Obliviate to erase any one memory from your mind, what would it be? Because that isn't an option in real life. Can you find another way to make peace with that memory? Here, again, not knowing. So some of you may have a fear of not remembering, but at the same time, our memories are colored based off of our perception of the situation. Our memories are not accurate in any way, shape, or form unless you have absolute photographic memory and can do perfect recall. But even our recall and our memories are still colored based off of our perceptions. They are not biased. They are not impartial. So when we think about obliviate, think about the memories, the trials that you've been through, and especially this newest task. Think about it in terms of, what if you couldn't remember what happened before? So this not knowingness, there is a fear there that I felt. Whoa. I don't know who just got hit by the, oh my God, what if I didn't remember? Our memories are not what serve us in situations. It is our psychic gifts, our intuition, our connection to spirit, to our internal world. It's not our memories. Yes, our memories can serve us, but our memories serve us only in as much as we allow them to be impartial, and most of the time they aren't. So if there is a memory, and the funny thing is, this reading, I almost structured this reading based off of Pensieve. And the way that Pensieve works is it's memories. It's a bowl full of memories, and you extract the memories from your mind, and you take them out with a wand, and then you put them in a bowl, and you can revisit them from a different perspective because you revisit them outside of yourself and are able to see things that you grasped tactilely and perceptively that you did not necessarily absorb because of your emotionality. It's very interesting because of this obliviate that we are talking about memories, because for the most part, for Harry to get through that maze, he had to go based off of memories. And in order to recognize when someone had been under a spell, he had to use a sense of recall for it. But no, that's not the case. I don't want to misquote Harry Potter ever. The memory that served him best was with the wands after he got to the center. So here's where I get it. Now I get why that memory message came in. Okay, so here's where memory actually serves us. So yes, sometimes we don't want to remember things. Like, I don't want to remember the shit that happened to me from my ex-husband. I would love to not remember. I would love to not remember certain pieces and bits and bobs of, situations with other people that have served to hurt me. Of course, I would not want to remember all those pains, but would that serve me? Would that serve you if I didn't remember? Absolutely not. You know why? Because it is through those memories that I am able to structure a strength internally to not endure the same things that I have endured in the past. So our memories serve to aid us if we allow them to. But if we are stuck in the pains of the memory, then we have to learn how to make peace with it. Amnesia is not the best idea in this case, because if we don't remember and we don't see the history that is there, then we don't learn from it and grow from it and change it. I love the saying, history is doomed to repeat itself, because it really genuinely isn't. And I will fall on this sword. And I say that a lot, but I will fall on this sword. History is not doomed to repeat itself. History is only doomed to repeat itself if we choose not to learn from what came before. If we choose not to learn and not to adapt and not to grow and not to change, not to become more aware, then absolutely history is going to repeat itself. But it's not the fault of history, nor the people in our past that history is repeating itself. It's our own damn fault for not learning the lesson in the first place. And guys, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just on a soapbox about it. But when it comes to memories, sometimes these memories are there to help us, to aid us, to guide us. So when Harry Potter touches the cup in the Triwizard tournament in the middle of the maze, Harry Potter and Cedric both touch the cup and they find out it's a port key. So you may have thought that you were reaching the end of something and you were doing this, you know, side by side with another person or what have you, because, you know, going based off of what the guides are showing me with Triwizard Tournament, it's very correlatable to a situation in life. So you both grab a hold of the cup thinking, okay, this is great. Well, you get transported. What happens? Cedric gets killed. Also, spoilers, but I just don't think it's spoiling at this point. And Harry has to continue to fight. Harry's defenses are down. He is tortured. His mother's protection is taken from him and applied to Voldemort in order to bring Voldemort back to life. Well, not back to life, but put him back in a body with his soul as fragmented as it was. And when he and Harry meet each other, you know, face to face, Harry uses Expelliarmus, and the spells connect to each other. And from that, there is wand memory. So the wand starts spitting out what came before, the spells that came before. And out of Voldemort's wand comes the people, like fragments of the ghosts of the people that he has killed recently, including Harry's parents. And they tell him what to do, and they tell him to hold on, and they tell him this, and they tell him that so that he can get out. In that moment, it is the memory of a situation that saves his life. Now, I know this is a magical realm and whatever, but sometimes our memories help our intuition so that we don't engage in a situation that is not right for us. The phase you've been coming out of is recognizing that your memories of the hardships in the past are there for your growth and to help you remain within your own intuitive awareness. So let's see how it helped with your values and beliefs. We have Draco Malfoy is part of an ancient and privileged wizarding family whose belief in the superiority of pureblood wizards is matched only by their devotion to the dark arts and Lord Voldemort. Draco internalizes this point of view wholeheartedly, growing from a spoiled child into a cruel and arrogant teenager. It is not until Draco becomes a Death Eater and is given a horrifying task by Voldemort that he begins to question his upbringing. Have you ever had to question any of your beliefs? If so, what prompted you to begin to change your mind? Okay, so this is deeply intertwined. So your memories, based off of how you grew up, how you were raised, what you were told to believe, or even if we're not in that realm of like your childhood, this is what have your memories and the ways in which you act and react to your memories taught you to believe in yourself and your interactions with others and all of that? What moment recently has made you challenge the ways in which you have been perceiving these things? Whatever it is, it's made you challenge yourself to the core. And that's a huge, huge important place to be, especially with the Tao Te Ching coming through, because the Tao Te Ching challenges you to believe in something outside of yourself that has nothing to do with you and to live your life based off of a higher level of principles. So let's take a look at the cards. We have, this one is the theme of your transformation in the next phase that you're moving into. These are the outer challenges, the inner challenges, unseen help, and any kind of advice and guidance for stepping into the unknown. And then we'll take a look at a few oracle cards. So we have strength. I love that. I actually got told to pull these 4 first. So we have strength is your theme. And then we have the King of Wands as the outer challenges. The Hierophant as the inner challenges. And the unseen help you have is the 9 of Cups. And that is Jupiter and Pisces with joy. All right, guys. So you're moving into a phase in which you're expecting, and you should absolutely expect respect. And the reason why I say that is because with this strength card, even though it's the number 11 and all of that, that is mastery, leadership. But we have the hippogriff on there, and a hippogriff will not hold for any kind of disrespect. You are expected to give the hippogriff the respect that it desires, the respect that it gifts you. So with a hippogriff, you have to look it directly in the eyes, and you have to bow low and expose your neck so that it sees that you are willingly surrendering yourself to being vulnerable in front of it. Sorry guys, I had to yawn, and I saw 22:22 on the clock. So this is about when you take that step, that action step forward into exposing yourself and showing your vulnerability. That's when the hippogriff will bow back. If it doesn't, you back away. Why wouldn't it bow back? It wouldn't bow back if it sensed within you disrespect. A hippogriff has to trust the person coming near it before it will respond. So you move in a way, in this next phase, you will be moving in a way that says, if you come at me from an angle, if you come at me in any twisted way, in any way, shape, or form that is not straight and narrow, honest, vulnerable, intimate, transparent, if you cannot come at me that way, giving me the respect I deserve, I am not going to bow to you. I will not give you respect. I will not return that. And we won't be dealing with each other. And if you try and come near me, my claws will come out. And that's a fair place to be, 100% fair. Because once you have earned the respect of a hippogriff, you have it until you don't. The hippogriff will always, 100% across the board, always require you to live up to the standards of respect. And this is this phase that you're moving into, is living up to the standards of respect. You respecting yourself means that you will get respect coming back at you. That in and of itself is a great strength and leadership quality. So the ways in which the outer world is going to challenge that is the King of Wands. That's that moving forward in an entrepreneurial energy. You may feel as though you're being challenged to disregard yourself in order to live a life that is more hustle and bustle or 9 to 5 or something like that. This feels very much like career oriented more than anything. The outer struggle is what the outside world perceives as what you're meant to do for your employment. However that pans out for you in your perception, this is saying that your outer struggles are going to try you on this. But remember, you're in a phase of I respect me first and foremost. And because I respect me, you will respect me. You will respect me, or you will leave my life permanently. There is a high level of personal value, personal worth that you're putting on you and what you have to offer for this world, and you absolutely should. So when the outside world challenges you, you stand strong and you say, no, this is what is right for me. This is what I know is right for me. This is what I'm meant to do. And there's no one in the world that's going to be able to dictate anything otherwise, because I know my worth. And you will come at me or come towards me, giving me the respect I have earned and the respect I show you. But you have to show me respect first. You have to gain my respect. I am a respectable person. You will gain my respect, or we will not do this little dance in life, whatever it may be. And you know what? The outside world may perceive you as being tough, hard, cold. You know, your inner challenge is this Hierophant, and it's Dumbledore. People didn't understand Dumbledore. They didn't understand some of the things that he did. So you have to ameliorate yourself with, why am I acting this way? Why am I behaving this way? You guys may very well be Pisces. I did pick that up early on. I picked up Piscean energy, Cancerian energy. Most of it is because Willow wanted to go outside and wanted to do that protector thing. And that seems to be the case with for the most part, I've seen it with Cancer risings. but it could be Pisces as well, because that's what I got was Pisces energy. And, you know, funny thing is before I sat down, I was like, I bet the vast majority of people who watch my channel and Lexi the Leo, you guys would be her water pile, because that's the energy that I got. If I had a water pile, it's based off of Willow's reaction, and I always associate that with Cancer rising signs, simply because that's how she reacts when I'm filming for rising sign messages. But the inner challenge with the Hierophant is to see your own goodness, even when you're acting in a different way, to see your own leadership, but to know the limitations of your leadership. Something that I love about Dumbledore is that no matter how many times they wanted him in a position of power, he always said no. He said no because he remembered the past. He remembered the past and he had learned from it. He learned about respecting himself and respecting others. And it was more respectful for him to say no than it was for him to engage in it. Why? Because he got power hungry in the past. Of course, it was a fear of his that led him where he was, but he was still in control. And arguably, he was more in control as a professor or as the headmaster of a school. He was more in control of the wizarding world from that placement than he would have been anywhere else. Why? Because he was molding and shaping the young minds that would go out into the world. So it was his job, his duty to make sure that they went out into the world as open-minded and open-hearted as possible, instead of closed-minded and eager for power or hungry for power. Your inner world is challenging you to see where you're meant to be as being the position of power that is greater than the outside world's opinion and belief on positions of power. And the unseen help in this with Jupiter in Pisces is literally last year. Some sort of joy, some sort of, it's like a reward for past actions, because we've got the House Cup here, and the House Cup is the end of the term reward for all the actions taken in the past. So each of the houses get points throughout the year. And you don't ever see a benefit from those points, not until the very end of the year. And this is something that's just easily accepted. But if we apply this to life, then we're like, okay, I'm getting points given to me on a point system, but I'm not getting any real reward from it. So it's kind of like when you monetize your channel on YouTube and you get estimated revenue listed. That's not actual revenue earned. It's just an estimation of it. So it's like a point system. Hey, you have X amount of points that you are earning based off of these people who are watching your channel. You may get all of that. You may not. It really depends. And that estimated revenue it's like when you finally get your payout for your revenue, that's the reward. That's the House Cup. So what you're getting here, your unseen help, is you're winning the House Cup. Now, the Nine of Cups is the card of hopes and dreams. So with joy being here, you're being rewarded from all your past actions. Your guys' is arguably like my favorite pile so far. Like, no offense to piles 1 and 2 and 4. But your message and your energies are like, no, this is your time. And I'm sure I literally just heard, oh my God, not again. So you guys have probably been hearing that a lot from a lot of different readers or something like that. Or even your guides could have been telling you that. And you're like, oh my God, could you please stop saying that? Like, stop saying it's my time. I've heard it's my time so many times. They don't know how to, I don't even know what time is anymore because I've heard it's my time too many times. I get that. But your unseen help is literally joy. It is Jupiter expanding compassion, empathy, psychic gifts, psychic blessings. So yeah, it could be intangible. But with the House Cup here, the reward is literally accolades. It's people cheering and praising you. It's people seeing how far you have come, how much you have worked for everything, and seeing that you did this. So whatever this is, when you move forward from this reading on, and you are standing fully in this energy of, I am going to be respected because I am a respectable person and I respect myself. When you take the leadership role in your life and you move forward, the world will respond in kind and they will see it. It will be seen. It will be known. So let's see how you can do that, stepping confidently forward. Forward. You are kidding me. The 10 of Pentacles. Oh no, the Wheel of Fortune. That's the Wheel of Fortune. Guys, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Do you see these right here? These are where you look to see how many points the houses have and who is in the lead. Because when points are given, these will start filling up with gems. And you've got the Sorting Hat here. It's literally like, and the Sorting Hat, okay, here's the thing. The Sorting Hat talks about how you get sorted into whatever house you're meant to be in. And you can see here which houses are excelling and which ones aren't. So you can actually see which area of your life needs more attention and more balance. But with the Sorting Hat, they say it's a chance thing. Like the Sorting Hat looks into your brain and it goes based off of these qualities and then it puts you in a house. But the thing is the Sorting Hat allows you to choose if you so deem yourself, like if you know, not deem yourself worthy. I don't know why I was going to say that. I saw 3333 on the clock in case any of you are seeing repeating threes. But the Sorting Hat is going to tell you where you belong based off of what it senses within your energy. But the thing is you get a choice. You get to choose which house you go into. So Harry Potter sitting on the stool with the Sorting Hat on kept thinking not Slytherin, anything but Slytherin, anywhere but Slytherin, any other house. And even though the Sorting Hat wanted to put Harry in Slytherin because he had every quality of Slytherin in there, he got the choice. And because he said, no, I don't want that, that's why he got put in Gryffindor. And what is Gryffindor other than bravery, strength, courage? It is that energy of knowing your worth and knowing your value and moving from that state. Even when you're up against insurmountable odds, you move from there. And that's how you work with the Wheel of Fortune. You say, okay, I want to expand, but I want to choose my own expansion. Look, we've got sacral chakra affirmations. I have complete peace from within. Yes. It's saying, I know what my worth is and I know where I want to be. And then realizing that you get to choose. You choose which house you belong to. You choose which energy to embody. You get that choice. And you feel at peace from that too. We have root chakra essential oils. Aromatherapy has powerful healing properties. To open the root chakra, try burning earthy essential oils. Wow, guys. Oils, candles, or incense like sandalwood, cedarwood, patchouli, cloves, or ginger. And again, another 11. Balancing the heart chakra. The best way to receive love is by giving it. Being kinder to others can help to strengthen and open this chakra. What can you do each day to help those around you? Forgive old grudges and let go of the past. Exactly, right here. Like making peace with the memory. Avoid being too critical of yourself and others. Compliment others and go out of your way to spread kindness and bring balance to your heart chakra. And then we have, I wanted to pull the bottom card. It was like the bottom energy wanted out. We have throat chakra, key concepts. This chakra is associated with communication, expression, voice, and honesty. This chakra's color is blue and its element is ether or space with 64, which is a 10. 10s, 11s, wow. So with this, I'm getting this correlation between this throat chakra being a 10 and the fortune card. Why? Because it talks about speaking your truth. It talks, and that was what we were talking about with the fortune card, with the sorting hat. It's recognizing what your true intentions are, who you are in truth within yourself, and moving from that space. When you speak honestly, that's when you get sorted into the house that you belong in. You have a choice in how you move forward. So recognizing that to step confidently forward is to know that your expansion is based off of the choices that you make. It really is quite illuminative. Okay, what closing messages do we have for pile 3? I really love your energy, pile 3. Especially with your, like, you're moving into a strength, but you are the Hierophant internally. Like, this is literally just knowing your value, knowing your worth. Okay. I was going to try and put those back, but they literally fell on my lap. All right, let's see what crystals are aiding you and what their messages are. So this is the first one we have. Let's see if it wants to focus. Aha, topaz. Topaz is the world's hardest silicon-based material. Its name alludes to the Sanskrit word for fire. In the Middle Ages, it was believed to cure crazy. I love it. Who needs it? Anyone burning A, the midnight oil, B, the candle at both ends, C, bridges, or D, all of the above. Where to put it? Wherever the action needs to happen. When to use it? When you're aiming in the right direction, but keep misfiring. Passion is totally indispensable, but if you're not careful with it, it might burn you up. Call on topaz to transform wild obsessions into laser-like focus and burning desires into getting things done. And it says, increase your firepower. Now, this speaks to this King of Wands energy. With the outer world wanting you to do, go, produce. Topaz is saying, get directed, get focused, get clear, know your path, know what you want to do. There's a lot of Saturnian energy with topaz. And it's saying, don't kill yourself in this journey. Like, don't beat yourself up. Don't burn yourself at both ends. Don't do more than what you need to do, but get yourself clear, focused, motivated, and then go from there. So this is the second one. It kind of looks like ice cream, doesn't it? Kind of like Neapolitan ice cream. Love that. And we've got rhodonite. What it is, with a palette of deep pink and black, rhodonite gets its name from the Greek word for rosy. Who needs it? Potential wasters, those deeply sighing, I hate my job types, and Sagittarius. Oh my God, I got Sagittarius energy too. Oh, I wish I would have mentioned this stuff prior to these cards coming out. It almost sounds like I'm being like, oh, I got that too. No, I really did. I just didn't mention it. Where to put it, just because of the willow stuff. Where to put it against your open heart, begging the universe to tell you what the fuck you should be doing with your life. When to use it, when that cubicle life has got you down, when it's time to drop the people-pleasing facade and start doing something that really lights you up, when you're ready to use your real and unique powers to actually make this rapidly spinning planet a more beautiful place. And it says, go with your heart. See, this is again where people keep telling you, do the 9 to 5, do this, do that. And you're like, no, that's not the life I'm going to live. It's recognizing what is right for you. Now, I know that us content creators, we preach constantly about, walk away from the 9 to 5, do this, do that. And I'm the same. I'm the same. I think it's mostly because more of the people who come to us are seeking the kind of life that we live. And they are looking to us to set the example. And that's all well and good. Like, yeah, awesome. I get that. I'll do that. No problem. But if you are in a 9 to 5 and this is what's right for you, then recognizing when you don't love your job means you should probably be looking for a new job is so important. Recognizing that is so important, especially when you know that you're meant to be in the mainstream world. I am not one to be like, no, you can't be in the mainstream world, because that would be so hypocritical of me. My husband is in the mainstream world. I'm not going to move hypocritically in that way. No, this is about recognizing what is right for you. And when you feel that encumbered by your job, you need to learn how to free yourself. Rhodonite is a really great calming, soothing stone to help you really anchor in a love of self. And both these cards are talking about getting yourself clear, your focus clear, and not overdoing it. So let's take a look at this last one. And I'm not at all surprised, guys. We got Moldavite. I literally wear Moldavite on my ring. Not every day, but a lot of the time. And it says what it is. Moldavite is a glassy pale to dark green tektite formed by a meteorite impact around 15 million years ago in what is now Germany. It's trippy as fuck, and it's expensive. And yes, I can confirm both of these things. Who needs it? Spiritual seekers, extraterrestrials trapped in human bodies, ayahuasca enthusiasts. I have to disagree with the maker of the card. I would not advise using Moldavite and ayahuasca together unless you absolutely know what you're doing. Aquarians, where to put it? In the middle of your forehead during meditation. Alters alien landing sites. Yeah, alien landing sites. I love it. When to use it? When you feel too grounded or disconnected from spirit. Moldavite is all about operating at a higher frequency. When you are looking for more wow and whoa in your life, on the meditation cushion and beyond, explode your perceptions with Moldavite. And it says, transform your life on earth. Now, on that note, first of all, the rhodonite will help temper the Moldavite if you use these too. Very, very much so. So will the topaz. When I first got Moldavite, I actually have a Moldavite necklace where it's attached to a Herkimer diamond, which just amplifies the Moldavite that much more. And it does this massive level of spiritual cleansing for you. So when I first got it, it literally cleansed my whole life of anything and everything and everyone that didn't need to be in it. And it did it rapidly. Moldavite does not fuck around. Moldavite is the stone of fuck around and find out. So in this way, this is literally saying, like, if you want the power to be taken out of your hands, give it to Moldavite. Let Moldavite control what happens. And it's not in a bad way of control. It's just saying, like, Moldavite will get you what you need to get. It will get you where you need to go, but it's important to make sure that you focus the energy and you are really gentle with yourself along this way. Now we have we had Sagittarius and Aquarius energies, and Piscean energies. So this is towards the end of this zodiac year. You may be experiencing a lot of these things. It may have started back in November, late November. So let's just get some final mindful messages. Okay. It says let go and release judgment. Okay. It says, and I can see how they are this way. It says, be silent, let go, release judgment, and manifest your dreams. So be silent is silence those negative perceptions, mindsets in your mind. Let go of anyone else and everyone else and anything else that you're meant to do. I'm literally like being drawn to my little Buddha here. These are from the Mindful box, but they have it on mindfulsouls.com. You guys can definitely check those out. They are great, and they're literally designed to help you with meditation, to just focus on the Buddha and start moving into that Buddhic awareness. So being silent and letting go helps you to not be judgmental of other people's actions, but it also helps you to not be judgmental of yourself. So you guys may have been part of that judgment group in my collaboration with Celtic Fairy Tarot and Ember Moon Tarot, because there's a little bit of concurrent energies. And that will help you to manifest your dreams. So if you're working on manifestation, creating the life that you desire, especially with this joy in the Wheel of Fortune, remember, you choose what you desire. You choose what you want to manifest. So there's a lot to be let go. That would be why Moldavite came out, because Moldavite is here to help you let go. Release all the judgments and free your throat to speak your truth. Wow. Okay. Pile 3. You guys are freaking rock stars. I just need to say that. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much to your guides, my guides, Spirit, for facilitating the connection between our energies and allowing these messages to flow through so smoothly. It really does help that these messages come out the way that they do, and they seem so eager to be out. And I want to say thank you so much to Czar from Lunar Refresh for this collaboration, for the inspiration, for working together, and for your friendship. It is so deeply impactful in my life, and I truly appreciate it. So guys, this is all I have for you. I want to say thank you so much. Please make sure that you guys go and check out Lunar Refresh's video and her messages, and make sure that you get the messages that you need to, rediscover the treasure that is within you. Go and take that out, or yeah, go take that out. Go check that out. Maybe it is take the treasure out. Go check that out. Make sure that you guys do that. There are links for that in the description box, as well as the comment section below. There are also links to my other stuff, but I definitely would prefer you guys going and checking her video out first before my stuff. So, all right, guys, I love you all. Thank you again for being here, and all the love and support you give to my channel, to these collaborations, to the messages, everything. You guys are rock stars, and I just am so deeply appreciative of you. Love you all. Bye. Hello, pile 4. Ooh, buddy. I almost called you guys pile 3. So we're going to double cleanse the energy here, just in case. Some of you may be coming from pile 3. If you are coming from pile 3, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hi, guys. If not, I did want to mention something to you guys, which I find really interesting, because I picked up this energy when I was doing my rising sign messages the last time. And it's when you are doing astrological energies, and you start getting into the hang of, what the energies feel like for your specific collective of energies, as well as based off of the zodiac energies that you're used to. You start recognizing exterior energies checking in on the piles. It is what we like to call cross-watching. So a cross-watcher is somebody who is in a relationship, a friendship, an enemyship, I'm hearing. Essentially, it's somebody who has an interest in another zodiac sign that doesn't involve their big 3. Or for my readings in particular, that is not their rising sign. So you cross-watch and watch the energies of the person on your mind, whether it's because you want to, say, know more about them, or you want to find out whether you're going to have a role to play in their next chapter, whatever, what have you. There's a little bit of that energy here. So the reason why I did a double cleanse, I actually feel like we need to do another one. This is so weird, because with Pickacards, there really shouldn't be cross-watcher energy, because you can't, I don't know, it's like you can't really cross-watch unless you are somebody who, like, say that somebody either usually picks a specific numerical pile, or the person that you're watching for, and the pile that they picked. It's very strange. But pile 4, I don't feel like, I'm not accusing you. But with this Flights of Fancy, that's kind of the energy that I'm getting, which is very strange, because that was not what I was expecting. But here's the thing. Some people can have Flights of Fancy in the sense of, like, I know what's best for this person, so I'm going to make sure that I get all the information I can, so that when I come at them, or come towards them, or come blah, 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 whatever them, that I know what it is that I'm saying because I've had all this information given to me. Now, again, pile 4, I don't feel like this is your energy. I feel like this energy is in your energy. Have some of you, and this is not to make you guys feel paranoid, but this is an energy I've picked up a couple of times. I've actually picked it up myself personally before, where someone's like, I wonder what pile that person picked, like with me directly. But that's just what I picked up. The other reason is because Willow started acting like I was interacting with a Sagittarius energy, and that came up in one of my other piles. So I'm not really sure what this is, but when she starts reacting that way, it's definitely not necessarily a good thing, because it's not that she wants to go OUT. If I say it, she'll run to the back door. It's that she just wants to, she wants mom. It's like, mom. Let's get this ash up there. Okay, so pile 4, we are talking about what this next task is in your life. And we're basing this off of the Triwizard Tournament. So I did want to do a huge shout out to Czar from Lunar Refresh for this collaboration, for working together on this. I'm super, super excited about this collaboration. I know mine is far more Harry Potter than hers, but we both agreed, like, let's just let this go and be what it's going to be. And I think that I've done this so many times in so many different ways in my life, like done Harry Potter themed arguments, or, like, I think I mentioned it in the intro. If it wasn't the intro, I totally mentioned it in one of the other piles, but it's coming back around again, where in college, I used Harry Potter as a philosophical review or assessment of good versus evil and how it plays out in the books as a as a college paper. Kind of like it was actually a college term paper for one of my discourse courses. And that arguably, like, when we talk about flights of fancy, and the reason why we're talking about flights of fancy is because that's the task that you have just completed. Like, these energies up here, the flights of fancy is a task you have just completed, and the values and beliefs is how it has changed your values and beliefs. And then we're going to move into the cards. But with flights of fancy, we think about not just, like, with the golden snitch, we think about our hobbies, things that we love, like Quidditch for Harry. And he ended up being an Auror, so a dark wizard catcher, but he still had a deep passion for Quidditch. And in fact, he actually married Ginny Weasley, who was a Quidditch star professionally. But flights of fancy, the colloquial way we describe flights of fancy, you know what? Let's handy dandy Google it. Oh my gosh. I don't know why, but give me just one moment. Flight of fancy. Flight of fancy. So a flight of fancy is an idea, narrative, suggestion, which is extremely imaginative and which appears to be entirely unrealistic, untrue, or impractical. Thinking which is very speculative. Okay, so a flight of fancy in this terms. So there, how sometimes there are people who are incredibly pragmatic, and they're like, you can't do that. That's foolish. It's kind of like in the first Harry Potter book, when Harry he breaks a rule, and then suddenly, instead of being punished, he's put on the Quidditch team. And it's like one of those most outrageous things, like, oh my gosh, you're the youngest Quidditch player in a century. And he's like, I can't believe this. And Hermione walks up and is like, I totally can. Like, your dad was a Quidditch star. And Ron makes this comment about how Hermione knows more about him than he knows about himself. And he's like, yeah, who doesn't? But when he and Hermione were talking on the train, she was like, if I'd have found out I was famous, I would have found out as much as I could about myself. Like I would have, like she took a very pragmatic approach to everything. Who takes a pragmatic approach to magic? Like, I'm sorry guys, I have like the weirdest mood today, but in a really good way. I have not been this like peppy and in my own energy for quite a while, so it's really good to be back to me. But flights of fancy, like it's almost becoming one of those laughable things for your energy pile for, because you're my like extremely spiritual pile. So this flight of fancy is kind of are you guys in your like super sassy spiritual phase where you're like, bitch, please? Because what I'm getting from this is like it's like these people out here are out here cross-watching my energy, and they think I don't know they're doing it. They think I can't sense that they're checking up on me or that they're trying to figure shit out on me. Like they don't know that, like, really. And I get this kind of it's like a 16-year-old in a 6,000-year-old soul, and it's like, you think that you can get one over on my spiritual awareness? Really? No, thank you very much. I absolutely love this, because you're taking this kind of like, it's just sass. It's a lot of spiritual sass. But sometimes when we get into those phases, like we can get really stressed. Like, oh my God, somebody is trying to calm my energy. Oh my God, somebody is checking up on my energy. Oh, there's a watcher. There's somebody trying to watch me. And you're at the point where you're like, bitch, please, like, try me. Like, seriously, try me. But it's not in a way where you're like threatening or being like overly egotistical. It's not bravado at all. What I'm getting from this is you're literally learning how to own yourself and your role here. It's like Harry could have been like, oh my God, I need to learn so much about myself, because otherwise I'm never going to know myself and everybody's going to know me more. Or he could be like, yeah, well, this person knows more about me. That's great. I'm going to keep living my life and then we'll go from there. And that's how he approached it. He just kept living his life, and everything that he did, he got to experience more and more, and he allowed it to happen. And we can tell ourselves these things aren't real. These things don't exist. We can't do this. We can't do that. But what are we doing there? We're limiting ourselves. Or we could be in a state of fear, like, oh my God, this person is doing this and this person is doing that. But what are we doing? We're creating fear. We're creating fear where fear doesn't need to be. Somebody wants to try, and it's kind of like me when I went through my phase of like, I was being heavily spiritually attacked. But the thing is a spiritual attack only has the power that it does when you give it that power. You can be spiritually attacked and be like, okay, I'm sensing that someone is trying to spiritually attack me. And then you're like, no, bitch, not going to happen. And this is not a reflection, like, bitch is not a reflection on like the person themselves. I mean, you may see it that way, but it's more of that sass coming out. So we can still get hit by spiritual attacks, but it's about that realization that we're more protected than we think we are. We have to trust our protection and then realize that we have more strength in cleansing than they have in sending a psychic attack. It actually is more draining for the person to come at you than it is for you to deflect what they're sending your way. And I feel like you guys have learned this. And this is a lesson that I just came out of too. So kudos to you guys. I always feel like pile fours, you are like my deep soul family and always like deeply aligned to what I'm going through. So we're on the level. So let's see what this Flight's Fancy says. I love it. The room of requirement is a special room in Hogwarts that only appears when a person has a great need of it. It has a different appearance depending on the situation, changing to meet the searcher's particular needs. Harry and his friends use it in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix to hold clandestine Dumbledore's army meetings. It also appears frequently as a place to hide things, and Harry eventually finds Ravenclaw's diadem, one of Voldemort's Horcruxes there. Imagine if you could step into the room of requirement at this moment. What would it become for you? I love that because we're talking about flights of fancy, and even the notion of the room of requirement in and of itself is one of those flights of fancy notions. So this is about what you perceive yourself to need. What do you think that you need? When you are going to the room of requirement, you have to walk by it 3 times, hyper focusing on what it is that you need. So what you're learning is that when you focus on what is needed, not anything else outside of what you're doing at any given point in time, like, this is what I need. This is what I apologize, guys. That's been happening so much with these readings, these yawnings. But when I yawn, I'm moving energy, and I have had a lot of stagnant energy, like stuck internally, not with my channel, but like, or readings or anything. It's just an internal stagnancy because when you transmute things, you go through almost like it is a void stage, but it is a stagnant stage where you have to let everything, like all the pieces, when you have, like, say, an internal tower moment, which FYI, the tower card did show up in your pre-shuffle, the tower and the 10 of swords. So when you have that kind of internal tower moment where everything crumbles, or you hit like a 10 of swords moment, oh, there it is again. You have all of that stuff that has fallen. What you have to do is you have to wait until the dust really settles before rebuilding. You don't want to start rebuilding in the midst of the dust. So it feels like stagnancy, and then you can get in your brain about it. So what do you need during those times? You need patience. So you have to hyper focus on patience. So now that you are in this energy of a rebuilding phase, because you're coming out of that dust settling phase, you're now at the room of requirement, and it's asking you to walk by the wall. It's walking by the wall 3 times and focusing on what you want to be on the other side of that door, so that when you open the door, it's not an actual flight of fancy, but an absolute guarantee that it'll be there. So say, for instance, I'm going to use my channel for an example. Yeah? Okay. So say, for instance, I'm walking by, like, I've had this internal tower moment. Things have changed on my channel. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I've gone through a few facelifts and makeovers and everything and whatever on this channel itself. So I've now gone through one major one. I have changed my intro. I've changed my thumbnails. I have changed my banner, my profile picture. I've changed my intro, my outro. I've changed literally everything that was regular on my channel. I have now changed. Why have I done that? Because it needed a change of energy. But when that change started, it felt like everything was falling apart. And for a while there, even my channel appeared to be stagnant, but it wasn't stagnant. It was steady. There is a huge difference between stagnant and steady. It was steady as it waited for the dust to settle. Why was it steady? Because the foundation I have built this channel on is firm in purpose. I built my channel on intention and purpose. Because I did that, the foundation of it is steady. So as my internal crumbling was occurring, because I needed to make changes, and I'm a fixed sign and I don't do change well. I don't do change well at all, but I could feel myself needing to do this. It came to a point of letting the dust settle. So my subscriber count didn't go anywhere. It didn't go up, it didn't go down, it just stayed what it was. and I could have freaked out a lot about that. There were some days where I was like, oh my God, everything is falling apart. I did have one of those days where I just literally, it triggered me. But it triggered me because it was still some of the dust settling, and it was still a part that was still structured from before, where I was really worried about my subscriber count. Like, the numbers really mattered. Now it's just the messages that matter, guys. Like, it's the messages. My last video got like 400 something views, and I was like, oh my God, that's so exciting. Like, I got super excited. And in the past, I would have been like, oh, I've had more views than that on a video. And maybe I should have done that. So maybe I should, like, I would have hyper analyzed and been hypercritical about myself. But instead, now I'm looking at it in this way. So when you go through that internal tower moment and everything crumbles down, you have to give it time for the dust to settle. It's not stagnancy. Whoa. I just saw like a bolt of light go like this and then come back. Okay, it's not stagnancy, it's steadiness. For a lot of you, it wasn't stagnancy that you were in, it was steadiness. Nothing changed, nothing increased, but nothing decreased. Nothing crumbled. And that's an important thing to recognize. When you go through a tower moment where nothing crumbles, but it stays steady, it shows you that the only crumbling was your internal mental construction about the situation. And that what you've done has been done built on firm foundations. So now you're being asked to think about what it is that you want this next chapter to be. And move and step forward and allow for you to open the door for the room of requirement, trusting that it'll be there, because that's the way the room of requirement works. So before we move into values and beliefs, I want you guys to think about what you want this next cycle to be, okay? Think about it really hard. Put it out into the universe and see what the cards say. See if there's that confirmation of what's going to be on the other side of the door, because that's what this represents, is the theme of what's coming next. This is a very curious thing because I'm actually testing my own gifts while we do that. There was another light orb. Oh my God. I'm so excited. That doesn't happen very often anymore. And the last time it happened, like in this like frequent succession, I was like pretty early into my like rising sign messages. So that it just excites me. I just get excited because Spirit is here. Your guides are here. Yay. They like to do that at times, especially when I'm really peppy. They're like, hey, watch a super zoom. Okay, anyway. It says, the mirror of Aries is a gilt-edged full-length mirror inscribed with the legend, Erised straw, Eru oit ub kafru oit on wosi. Okay. Discovered by Harry in an unusual classroom in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Philosopher's Stone, guys. It may say Sorcerer's Stone, but they actually changed that. Did you guys know that's a little known Harry Potter fact? They actually, well, it's better known now, but they changed it to Sorcerer's Stone for the US because they didn't think that Philosopher's Stone would sell in the US. And I almost think that that should be taken into offense, except they're not wrong at all. But Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. It shows the viewer, in Professor Dumbledore's words, the deepest and most desperate desires of our hearts. Imagine you had the opportunity to look into the mirror of Erised. What would you see, and what do you think it says about your deepest desires? Okay, so again, this is, what do you want to see? What do you want your next journey to be? What do you want it to be? There's a lot that the universe is putting into your hands right now. You have done this. You know, the funny thing is with Flights of Fantasy, with all the other piles, I've been structuring it based off of some part of the Triwizard Tournament and the tasks. And I thought this was going to be about the first task. And in a way, it kind of is. Because the first task, Harry kind of breaks the rules. He does and he doesn't. Why? Because you're not supposed to you can't take anything into the arena except for your wand. He knows he's going up against a dragon. What do dragons do? They fly and they breathe fire. What is the one thing that Harry does the best? He flies. He's a Quidditch star. So that's what he does the absolute best. He has to capture a golden egg that is being guarded by the dragon. So what is needed is his broomstick, but he can't take his broomstick in there. he can only take his wand. So technically, he shouldn't have his broomstick, except that he taught himself, well, he didn't teach himself, Hermione taught him Accio, the spell to bring the broomstick to him. And then he got on the broomstick and he super zoomed around and he got the egg in like almost as fast or faster than just about everybody else. And he set himself apart in that way, in a way that he shouldn't have. So this is saying you may feel like you don't have everything you need. So summon it. Summon it into your awareness. Summon it into your life. Bring it forth. Walk into the room of requirement knowing it'll be there. What does the mirror of Erised show you? Now, the thing that you have to remember about the mirror of Erised is, look what Erised is. It's literally desire spelled backwards. And I didn't realize that for years until my husband pointed it out. And yeah, you guys can laugh at me. I kind of laughed at myself for that one. I'm like, I can't believe I didn't realize that. But the point here is that you won't realize that the desire that you're being shown in the mirror itself is backwards. If you sit there and you focus so much on what the desire is instead of on whether or not that desire can come to fruition. So Harry sat and stood there and stared at dead family members. That can't come to fruition. But Ron, on the other hand, looked and saw himself as head boy, as prefect, as Quidditch captain, like all of that. Those are all possibilities for him. So it's about realizing whether the desire is something that is tangible or intangible and how that plays out in your life and your perception of what you can actually create within your life. That's really, really important here because perception is what our entire world becomes reflected back to us based on. Perception and reflection is this world. So our perception creates the world's reflection. That's important. So let's see the theme of what you're moving into. Whoa, it literally, oh my God. Okay, no joke here. I'm going to take a picture of this. And I will put it up. I think it's caught on the leaves down on my floor. But I'll actually pull it up for you guys. I was like, I'm going to have to do this as a community post. No, I can just show you. Look. Look at that. It's literally standing up. It's standing up. That's incredible to me. It's absolutely incredible. Look at that. I can't tell where it was touching the leaves enough to hold it up. It is a flight of fancy. It literally just like defied gravity. Oh my God. Okay, there is a song called Defying Gravity. I don't know it. I think it's by David Guetta, but I'm not entirely sure. But you guys might want to check that song out. All right, we have the Six of Pentacles with success and the moon in Taurus. My gosh. Passing the test. Okay, literally success. Literally success. This is about an equal give and take in the world. This is about you feeling home and safe and comfortable in the world. This is about you feeling like a success in everything that you do. It's literally being like, I want to pass with flying colors. I want to see myself as a success. I want to see myself as a success, even if I don't necessarily get the exact result that I want, but it's good enough and it is like, it's to the best of my ability. I want to feel the level of success internally and then see it reflected externally. So what you are desiring, what's on the other side of the room of requirement is success. And literally, it's like success that defies odds. It's like the hummingbird energy that we talk about on my channel so often. It's the hummingbird energy. I love this because I can't explain so much of what's going on in your reading, and I'm super excited about it. Okay, this is outer challenges to this perception of success and the manifestation of success. This is inner challenges. This is unseen help. And this is advice and guidance in stepping forward into the unknown. So the outer challenges are the Four of Cups with comfort and the moon in Cancer. And inner is Ace of Discs or Ace of Pentacles. And it's earth energy. I'm just looking, yeah. And Hufflepuff, and we've got Helga Hufflepuff. Okay, so your exterior conflicts are stepping out of your comfort zone, feeling comfortable, feeling as though you have soul sovereignty, S-O-U-L, not S-O-L-E, but S-O-U-L, sovereignty, sovereignty over the choices that you make for your soul, and worrying about or feeling as though things have fallen apart. This outer conflict is realizing that some people aren't going to understand what you define comfort as. We've got the moon in Taurus versus the moon in Cancer. And while those are supposed to be very compatible energies, they can actually butt heads because the moon in Taurus knows what it wants. It gets it grounded, firmly grounded. It is a fixed sign versus the moon in Cancer, which is a cardinal sign. That will be like, I will go and find my comfort level no matter what. So you want success. The outside world is going to try and define what your success looks like and how it should feel. Your inner world is like, maybe if I go through that and it doesn't feel right and the world tells me it's not right, then maybe I need to do this. And then you start getting in your head about planting new seeds or about whether or not the seeds you've planted are going to be a success. But remember, success is in the eye of the beholder. Perception determines the reflection of the world. So that's why that's so important to you. You're going to be challenged based off of the outside world for what you feel comfortable with, how you feel something is or is not properly defined or explained within your life. And that challenge is going to lead you back into an inner challenge of trusting what has been planted, trusting what is supposed to be coming to you, and trusting in your path and your journey, having the utmost faith in yourself in order to bring this into fruition. Success is based off of your perception. Do you see yourself as a success, or do you see success as a flight of fancy? There are so many tongue tires in this. So let's see what unseen help you have. We had the Eight of Swords with interference. I actually really love that because it's Jupiter in Gemini, which means that there's this expansive awareness of duality. The reason why it's the Eight of Swords is a false perception. So it's a false perception of being trapped. Why? Because there are a shit ton of floating keys up in the air that you can choose. So you can choose any single key. You determine whether that key is going to open the door. You're the one who knows the key that opens the door because you created the key and you created the door. Just like in the Eight of Swords, the person on the card traditionally created the interference because they create the perception of being trapped, being locked down, being stuck in this place. It is a self-sabotage and self-destruction based off of a false perception of being trapped. You weren't ever trapped to begin with. You weren't ever trapped in this room with the keys to begin with. The keys themselves look like birds, and all you have to do is capture the one that is the right key. So the unseen help that you have is actually an expansion based off of interference so that you can focus on yourself. Let the outside world get distracted by the outside world's shit. You have focus. You know what you need to do. So while the outside world is focusing on 4 missed cups or 4 spilled cups, because we've got all the cups spilled here, the outside world can focus on that. Your inner world has to determine whether the seeds that you've planted are going to grow. And in order to do that, you have to keep yourself separate. So the unseen help is actually running interference with the outside world. It's like with Mars in Gemini going direct, that retrograde expression of Mars in Gemini shifting direct, which it has as of the 12th, that energy has now shifted and changed to being a new, it's like the outside world is going to be focused on that, and you're going to be focused on something else, on you, on your path, on your success. You don't care about the energies because you already know about them. The more educated you are, the more perceptive you are of them, and you can move in a different way. So it's almost like Mars in Gemini is going to be running interference so that you can tap into Jupiter in Aries a hell of a lot better. And that's pretty freaking cool. I'm not going to lie. Never heard of that. That's wow. Okay. So let's see how you can step confidently into the unknown. The 5 of Pentacles with torment. And we've got Mercury in Taurus. Instead of torment, I want you to think of it as exterior torment. People would be tormented. How can you step confidently into the unknown is knowing that you have the hand of fate or the hand of destiny or whatever it's called. It's the hand that only gives light to the owner. So if you own the hand, it gives you light. It's Mercury in Taurus, and Mercury goes in retrograde in Taurus. The first retrograde of the 2023-2024 zodiac season is actually in Taurus. And we've already set the stage for it to happen. We're moving through how that retrograde is going to play out right here, right now. We have been for most of January. So this is talking about how you step confidently through that is you realize that it might torment other people. It might bother other people. They may feel out in the dark or out in the cold when you move forward, but you know that it's simply because you have the hand of destiny. And you trust yourself, and you're ready to teach people this. So speak it into existence. It's kind of amazing to me to see that you guys are like, how you step confidently forward is in a state of, it's not in a state of torment. It's in talking about the ways that things have tormented you in the past, talking about the things that have bothered you, letting your emotions out. You know, one of the things about Tauruses, and especially a moon in Taurus or a sun in Taurus, is that they don't like talking about emotions. They don't like talking about emotions. They have them. They have a lot of them. And they go very deep, but they don't like talking about it. And in fact, they can get very standoffish. A low-level Taurus can get incredibly standoffish about whether they want to speak about their emotions or not. And if you try and call them out on it, they can get violent. And I say that because I've dealt with quite a few of them in my life that can get that way. And granted, I'll tell you guys, it's more of a sun in Taurus than anything that I have experienced that with. And this is not a negative reflection on anybody who has a sun in Taurus, because I have dealt with a lot of like amazing sun in Taurus people too. Some of my best friends are suns in Taurus. So it really does. It's about the levels in which they're embodying their own energy. So how can we help pile 4, spirit and spirit guides of pile 4? How can we help them with this next task, with moving confidently into the unknown? Trusting that they have the light of destiny, that they know their worth and they can move forward. How can we help them? Okay. Let me get a couple more. Okay. Just 2, please. You get 2 more, please. There's like packs of 5 or 6 that want to come out. Yeah, see? Okay. Oh, well, that works. All right. So it's time to introduce a new way of being moving forward. That's something that's coming through. Introduce a new you. Oh, that makes sense for what I said about my channel and how I've done all these different changes. It's introducing a new you, coming forward in a new way. Yes, it might torment some people, but talk about it. Talk about your emotions, your insights, your wisdom, your knowledge, your awareness, your grounded perception that takes the, I'm hearing the enigmatic and makes it pragmatic. That's interesting. So we have third eye chakra affirmations. My inner eye reflects my inner light. And then solar plexus affirmations. I make my own decisions with confidence and conviction. That's important. That's crucial. I felt the importance of that. And it says balancing the chakras in activity. Step 1, sit comfortably in a cross-legged position. Step 2, light a candle, placing it 1/2 meter away. Step 3, be still and look at the flame without blinking. Watch with complete attention for a few minutes. Excuse me, guys. Step 4, close your eyes and watch the residual image. Do this until you can no longer see the image. Step 5, slowly bat open your eyelids and either repeat the activity or take a deep breath to finish. So this is about being able to balance your chakra system by working through the light. And I do this a lot with sunlight. I will sun gaze, and then when I close my eyes, I will allow for the colors to move from the root chakra to the crown chakra coloring. And when I am done with all of that, I will open my eyes and feel that grounded energy, that balanced energy, that aligned energy. So however you choose to work with it, definitely try that out. It's great, but this is about balancing out everything. And then we've got heart chakra stones. This chakra is predominantly associated with pink and green stones. Rose quartz can be used to open and heal the heart chakra. This stone also aids sleep, calms emotions, and removes negativity. Jade is also useful to promote emotional and physical well-being. Green calcite is useful to absorb negativity and boost physical immunity. Okay, so let's find out what crystals are going to help you here. So we've got solar plexus, third eye, and heart chakra balancing here. So this is about balancing your sense of personal power with your love of yourself, your love of your gifts, and not letting anybody kind of take away from that. Okay, 1, 2. Whoa, that's a lot. Okay, I'm not going to take those just because I've been working with 3 of them. So Spirit, can we get 3 of them? Okay. 1, 2, 3. I guess we're working with 4. It's literally like whenever I ask a question, it's being stubborn. So yeah, thanks, pile 4. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so the first one we have is jasper. And jasper describes a huge variety of opaque quartz stones. From Picasso jasper, I'm going to be prolific, to mookaite jasper, I'm going to lay low and power up, to red jasper, you're going to want to move out of my way. These earthy babies help align us to our core powers. Who needs it? Air signs and city folk. I'm a city folk. Not a huge city, but big enough. Where to put it? Wherever you are, when you would rather be barefoot, pulling vibes from the earth below. Think white sand, green grass, and a yoga mat. And we're going to go to the opposite side. We have blue calcite. Oh, on the bottom it says, strengthen your foundation. This is what we were talking about. If it's steady, your foundation is solid. If it is stagnant and steady, like it isn't going anywhere, but it isn't decreasing, then your foundation is solid. So remember, strengthening your foundation means that you trust in the validity of what you've built. Blue calcite, what it is, dreamy, calming blue calcite is the fresh from the meditation retreat vision board making hippie of the calcite family. I love these cards. They're so sassy. And you guys have that sassy energy. Who needs it? People who stare up at the ceiling worrying about the future at 3 a.m. I'll literally raise your hand if you're one of those people. I am. All right, where to put it on your bedside table? When to use it? When stress is the enemy. Stress is always the enemy. Freaking out is not a prerequisite for accomplishment. Deadlines aren't death sentences. Stress will extinguish your creativity and crush your dreams if you let it. Call on the calming, focused energy of blue calcite to remind you to put stress in its place, far away from the joy of the process and delight of dreaming big. And it says, act on your dreams. You see here? So we can get ourselves all stressed and strained and whatever, or we can be like, I'm going to use the room of requirement. And the room of requirement is designed to take your stress away. So trust in yourself and your guidance here, especially right now. So we also have chrysoprase. Hypnotic green chrysoprase is a rare stone with a heavy... Oh my God, I'm on the struggle bus right now. A heavy helping of nickel. Hence its mesmerizing verdant hue. Who needs it? Explorers searching for the fountain of youth. Where to put it? Squeeze chrysoprase against your heart and tell your inner child how much you love them. Oh, then cry forever. Oh, God. I'm sorry, guys. This is like the Grinch energy here. Like, my heart is growing 3 sizes. When to use it? When it's time to forgive that person who hurt you the most, your parents, and most of all, yourself. You are not a doormat. You are an evolved being. When you feel like giving up on love, chrysoprase gives you the green light to keep going. And it says, grow from your heart out. Oh my gosh, you are not a doormat. I feel like I need to shout that to the heavens right now. You are not a doormat. And I saw 4455, which is literally about changing that as a core foundational belief, changing that. And I feel like that's something that you guys have been doing. Greens and blues are really prominent with you guys, but also oranges. So we have garnet. Well, this is red. So this is about the foundation of your own self-belief and self-love here. Garnets are deep pomegranate to fiery red stones that have lit wrists for centuries. Garnet comes in many forms like alamandine, grossular, and sespertine. Spessartine. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. Spessartine, to name 3. Gorgeous garnets gush with, alliteration. Gorgeous garnets gush with positive vibes and are the perfect sparkly accessory to an I got this attitude. Who needs it? Writers who aren't writing, painters who aren't painting, and sexual beings who aren't sexing. Where to put it? Any place you want to make something, be it art, love, or dollar bills, y'all. When to use it? When you feel like the real you is getting lost in the sometimes shallow, often materialistic priorities of the likes-driven culture. Get into your depth. Hell yes, I love that, because garnet is all about your passion and your creativity. So this is about going back to the foundations of the things that you want to build. That's where your success is. Your success is within yourself. Don't let the rest of the world tell you what you should feel comfortable doing or not doing, what is right or isn't right. It's like SEO. Sometimes SEO doesn't matter. I'm sorry, forgive me. I'm a content creator and I try to use as many keywords as I can, and you'll see them in my description box because I'm trying to add them. But I'm sorry, that does not detract from the sanctity of me channeling. It does not mean that my whole entire being is end all be all based off of whatever SEO I can get in there and make sure that whatever. The numbers don't matter nearly as much as the heart. Let the heart matter. That's where your next phase is. That's where your success is in what gives to your heart in the way that you give to it. get back to doing what you need to do, what is right for you and what matters the most. All right, I'm not going to divine these. I'm just going to roll them. There's some mindful dice. We have set intention, release control, unplug, and cultivate courage. These are your final messages. I'm going to move these up for you guys. These are your final messages. Pile 4, I want to say thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you guys check out Czar's portion of this collaboration about rediscovering your inner treasure, going and deep diving for your treasure chest internally. Make sure you guys check her out. Her link is in the description box and the comment section below. So a huge shout out to her. And now I want to say thank you so much to your guides, my guides, and spirit for facilitating the connections between our energies. Thank you so much for allowing these messages to flow through so wonderfully and powerfully and with as much pizzazz as they have. It's wonderful. It's awesome. And I love it. All right, you guys, thank you so much, Pile 4. I love you guys so much. And I appreciate you guys being here. Again, check out that comment section below if this resonated. I think you guys are the first pile I've mentioned this in. If it resonated, do the YouTubey things. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, comment. You guys know the drill. I guess I didn't remember to say that in my other videos. I would be more upset about it, but I'm not. All right, you guys, I love you. Make sure you guys check out Czar's channel. I think I've said that to you like 4 times. So yeah, repetition is the key to learning. I love you guys. I'll see you again at my next video. Bye.